Oh, that's in a Discord. I bought my sister one of those.
For Christmas.
She's a big pickle fan.
Pickle.
I got her like a giant pickle sampler because they have like spicy and super sour. That's what it was called, super sour, not me.
It's all right. It's okay.
That's just what they told me. All right.
Today,
So out of it.
I am Qatari.
Is Kate still coming?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay.
Was that supposed to be today?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Oh.
I couldn't remember.
Listen.
Is everything all right with her?
Yeah, yes, everything's fine.
Good. Good.
I don't want to say angry, but I was sad. She told me she was going to come. She didn't come. I had another friend who said they were going to let me know if they would be here. They never let me know anything. So, you know.
Do I know this other friend?
You do.
Ooh, do I know the friend that you mentioned on Patreon that wants to get into video games that's never gotten into video games because of Last of Us?
Of them. Yeah, it's Megan Burton.
Oh, cool.
Megan not Burton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll talk about that today. Oh, look at that. All right, let's.
I love like watching The Last of Us, not having any video game knowledge and being like, I'd love to play video games. That seems like that. Like,
but I think the story is so compelling
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
And my fear is that they're gonna hate the video game after seeing the show.
Right.
Can't possibly do that. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 862. The Obstagoon Podcast. Obstagoon is one of the few that I know of because he looks like he's in Kiss. If you look him up, looks like a Kiss member. MomBrain, will you please tell us about Obstagoon?
Obstagoon! Its voice is staggering in volume. I guess that makes sense. Obstagoon has a tendency to take on a threatening posture and shout. This move is known as obstruct. They are 5 feet tall, 101 pounds, female and male, and the category is blocking. Abilities include guts.
Do you have it?
Do you have it?
Piece of the rock. Mo, leaderboard.
Finally.
Okay.
The Rock.
Oh, The Rock. I get it. Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, you want a piece of
His cousin is the aggro crack.
You got a text from Nikki Hill.
Apology accepted.
Guts. It's so gutsy that having a status condition boosts the Pokemon's attack stat, and Reckless powers up moves that have recoil damage.
Wet and
End of Pokemon section.
Let's go. See, I did. For anybody who read it, I put end of Pokemon section with a line break and everything. I am a man of my word when I remember my word.
Ad break.
It's Nikki Hill. If you're listening, it's okay. No worries. Yeah, I just remember you saying you weren't sure if you were going to be able to. Since I didn't hear from you, I figured you'd be here, but you're not here. It's fine.
We speak your name.
Is he going to call you now?
No. Hello, Super Sanchez
sure?
and 10th Division and Barry Bob and Highland Tom and Backseat Studios and Alternates Liz and Steel Diver, Ice Dilbert, Darmani, Storvis Corvin, Red Souza, Malik Halo, Dre Gamer, Kotori, No Blades, No Bows, whoever else comes in, I will gladly say hello to you if I catch you like bacon bits. Good to see you. What is going on today?
It's bacon bits.
I'm sorry. You're right. I got some kind of tickle in my throat.
That just happened to me before I left the house.
It's this damn cat. We got newcomers. Hello, Nico Duria. We got newcomers. We got old comers. We got all comers.
Gross.
We got MomBrain here.
Hello.
We got Kirby.
Hey, everybody.
We got Drew Michaels.
Cuckoo.
We got me. We got the one, the only, Joshua Grobot. Josh, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week. I hope.
Yes, I really
Oh,
did.
that's good.
I am the world's best singer. I'm here to grace you
Okay,
with my presence.
Wop, 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 wop.
Hanging and banging.
Hanging and banging, baby.
He actually can do that, like Tibetan throat singing, where he can sing
and speak at the same time.
Very true.
okay.
Call of Duty, bro.
I didn't. I thought it worked a little differently, but I've heard through the grapevine that Josh is going in for an upgrade. He doesn't want to talk about it yet, but
Shut up. I don't care.
He's going
That's none
in
of your
for an
business.
upgrade, people. I just putting it out there.
You heard that through the grapevine? Did you
I
hear
did.
anything through the lime vine?
No, but George, did you, my friend?
Buongiorno. Yeah. Yes.
I- it's a great greeting, one that nobody else ever says. Really, I'm happy. I'm happy, George. You feel comfortable enough to greet us like that.
I spent the summer in the Mediterranean. So,
Oh,
yeah. Great limes there.
Did you sail over on a cruise limer? We have MomBrain is already I knew this was going to happen. As we mentioned on the podcast recently, we are getting a cat for
We
this.
have gotten a cat.
Yeah,
The
cat is here.
This cat had to be rehomed because its owner got a heart transplant and they could no longer have a cat due to toxoplasmosis precautions. So now the 8-year-old cat lives with us. Its name is Piper. Piper is here. MomBrain has put pictures of Piper in the Discord chat if you'd like to see. And if you're listening to the show whenever, you can still go to the Discord and see the pictures. They'll be there forever. So Piper is here. I don't know that you'll ever
Rami
see
is
Piper.
very upset about the Piper situation.
Yes.
Go ahead, air your grievance.
No, you go ahead. I want to hear from
Is
you.
that why you refer to it as it?
Yeah. Right. Rami
I said Piper so many times.
feels that Piper doesn't like him, and
It's true.
she hissed at him
That's true.
a little earlier.
First
but
hiss.
For
she
no
and I,
reason.
4 days in. First hiss.
she and I get along great.
That jumped up into bed with MomBrain.
Well, your
so-
last cat tried to murder you multiple times.
Listen,
like
Yeah.
it's
But
an
also,
upgrade.
he was Comanche's favorite human.
I listen.
So it's my turn.
Here's my thing. The cat is brand new here. It's out of its element. I completely get it. I'm not upset with the cat. I'm not mad at the cat. I want the cat to feel loved and safe and all that stuff. And I know it's going to take months. Hello, Super Blast Sex. But here's the thing. Comanche was an asshole, but he was fun. If this is a cat that's like, oh, a noise, whatever, and goes and runs and hides all the time, I'm gonna have trouble with it. I'm not gonna drag the cat out. If it wants to live in a pit or under a bed or in a hole, whatever, that's fine. I'll just be disappointed. So, but like I said, it's all new for this cat. I'm not willing to make a judgment call until like I need probably 4 months or something. I'm gonna say, give it some time. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it is. What was it? Night 1 it jumped into bed with you, or night 2 it jumped in bed with you?
So I'm of the
Oh, hello,
camp
Mom. Good to see you.
that when you first get a cat, you kind of confine them to one room while they get used to the environment and the whole shebang. And Rami's like of the camp that's like, you just let him out and let him run.
No,
So-
that's not true. I was like, do we need to? And then we saw that she hid under the couch, so we
She
moved her
didn't
to
just
one
hide
room.
under the couch.
In the couch.
She actually got
Yeah.
inside of the couch.
I
Oh,
could
wow.
put photo evidence of that in the Discord.
So then I got she actually came out willingly, with a like a little coercion, like a little sting. So then I moved her up into the bedroom, and she was much more comfortable, and then was like dying to get out, like looking at you and looking at the door, and like every time you went near the door, she'd be like meow, meow. So we opened the door and let her roam the house. By last night, she was doing a really good job of like comfortably getting up and down the stairs.
So I was saying to
and-
do, she did walk around like this floor and downstairs a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm like, sitting on our living room bed, like not moving because I know the cat freaks when I move any little bit. And I went to MomBrain was like, just get up and do what you were gonna do. So I got up and the cat was like, huh, and like ran upstairs and hid. So,
Is the cat confined now?
no,
So it could come down if it wanted
she
to.
probably won't, but
not
she
happening. Not happening.
could. Well, I hope eventually she does because the litter box is downstairs. So
Well, we know at night she'll go down there because she went down there last night. So
yeah, we had to like
under cover of darkness.
we had to like dig her out this morning. Well, she was going around pretty okay last night. So I don't know if she
two
just-
great gifts, or a great gif and a great picture right in a row.
Well, that's all good signs, I think, for 4 days.
That's
like
how I feel.
that's
Yeah,
pretty good
well,
that she's snooping around already. like-
Nothing is happening where I'm like, I'm worried, I'm nervous. It's all new.
She's also
I
8,
do
so
feel
she's
bad.
had like a long
Listen,
Yeah.
time.
friends know mentally I've been completely out of it for a while now. But like a couple weeks ago, hello Gecko Kitsune, hello Afternoobs. a couple weeks ago we went to a family party where there was a dog, and I love animals. Hello, Anastasia Beaver hasn't. I love animals, and this dog like was very afraid of me. Like, and I have seen the dog before, so I don't know what was going on. And like the whole party, the dog was very uncomfortable around me, so that made me sad. And now I get a cat that hisses at me. Where I had Manch. Manch hated my guts in the beginning. Manch, I don't even know if he ever hissed.
I've
Maybe at
never
the
heard him
vet.
Oh yeah,
hiss. Has he
he
hissed?
hissed at the vet.
But like never hissed at me or anything like that. Now I got a cat for 4 days and it hisses at me. So
Well, she's timid, I think, and just
again, like it's not like I'm like, come here, kitty, and I'm like trying to pet it or like I'm not Elmiring the cat. I
Oh,
I
they
was
were gonna
sitting
say,
there
I'm
in
not
the
like Lube.
hallway and the cat walked by me and then turned around and hissed at me. Like I wasn't even doing anything. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Listen, here's what's important. I don't need the cat to love me. I hope it does, but the cat, I'm happy the cat has a home where it's going to be safe and can hang out. So that's what's important to me. We'll see what happens. Hi, Lane Tom. I owe you an apology. My Discord perpetually says I have a new message. So I missed your recent messages because I thought it was just that thing telling me that I had a message and there wasn't really one there. So I apologize for that. But anyway. I don't believe it. There were things I wanted to talk about before we got into news. Movie. And if something about you in a movie and something about me in a movie. Oh, yes.
TV, camera, person.
Are you, MomBrain, you want to hit that light, please? Are you excited? Because they announced that there are more, no specifics, but more Lord of the Rings movies in the pipeline.
I am the total opposite of excited.
I
for
figured you
this.
would be, but I wanted to talk to you about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting burnt out on all this kind of remake, remaster, buy something for tons of money and like, and bang it, put your stamp on it, sell it, do it. I'm over this crap because it's never any good. I mean, the amount of money that I liked that Lord of the Rings show, fine, but like the amount of money they spent on that show does not equate what we got on the screen.
All the money in the world can't make a good show. That I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad show, but
Yeah.
the money you pour into it doesn't mean the quality. It's like I say with games. Doesn't matter how much money they put in. Doesn't matter how great the graphics look. If the gameplay is fun, then the game is good. Otherwise, all that money and stuff doesn't matter. It's the same thing with TV shows and movies. It could be as flashy and high tech and whatever. You can enjoy a movie from a visual standpoint, but it's the story and the writing that matters.
It'll be there and gone. Like you'll watch it and then you'll forget immediately about it. Like that show. Like I said, I watched it. I didn't forget immediately about it, but like I'm not thinking about it. I'm not excited for like season 2 or like chomping at the bit. And even the Hobbit series, Peter Jackson lost whatever magic he had the first time around.
I was going to say, if they brought back P. Jacks, would you be any more interested? But I figured the Hobbit tainted that.
That's kind of how I feel.
It doesn't matter who they get for it, to be honest. I think. I mean, I know they're talking to Peter Jackson, and he's like being like supportive of it, but what else is he going to do? It's not like he owns it or can do anything.
This could be my ignorance of him, but what has he done? What have you done for me lately?
He's done some movies, but nothing. I mean, King Kong and like there's others too, but I can't. To be honest, he did that one, that Mortal Engines, which was horrible, awful.
He was like a producer, I think.
Was he only a producer on that?
He's done some producing in recent years. And that Beatles documentary, but that's all I can think of.
Yeah, and I loved that, and I'm not faulting him for that. And he did a World War I documentary that was really impressive as well.
Drake says Frighteners. Oh yeah, we all know about
well,
that.
The Frighteners was amazing, but that's way back. I mean, because of the Frighteners, they let him have.
Maybe.
I mean, it's up there for me. It's up there for me. That and what's it called? Beautiful Creatures or something Creatures.
Oh yeah, which I still haven't seen.
It's actually really good, based on a true story. Kind of creepy.
But beautiful.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's what it's called. Something Creatures, but I
think it's Beautiful Creatures.
Is it cool? But yeah, I just don't know. Like, I just can't see them doing anything that's going to be great, And there was something about, and as a book lover of the series, even the first Lord of the Rings, there's like some things that I'm not too crazy about, but overall as like a cinema experience, I think it's really, really wonderful. And it's one that you can go back to again and again and again. The Hobbit is not like that. That was just a cash grab that they made 2 extra movies out of, and that sucked. And the show is like whatever. So I don't even know what they're gonna do with new movies moving forward. It just to me sounds like, oh, we've got the name Lord of the Rings, and people have heard of that, and we're gonna use it to make some money. And like again, that's our society, so I get it, but doesn't mean I'm like excited for that prospect, for just another thing that I'm gonna forget about 2 seconds after I
know
watch it.
just you are very attached to and appreciative of the Lord of the Rings franchise, so I figured I'd ask you about that because I also figured you wouldn't be down for it, but I was wondering if you had any other insight, and you did. So thank you for sharing. Hopefully, whatever comes out, you find to be entertaining if you check it out and worthy of an adaptation. I didn't even see The Hobbit. There's 3 Hobbits movies.
There
are 3
I
Hobbits
haven't
movies.
seen any of them. I just didn't.
Yeah,
I saw the
they're
first.
tough.
I saw the Lord of the Rings trilogy in theaters, but I didn't see Hobbits. And I think I was just seeing them because it was like they were a big deal. Like I didn't dislike them. I enjoyed them. They were fun. Just wasn't a Lord of the Rings fan, but it was they were a big deal. So there's that movie to parlay into or to segue into another movie. I watched Megan last night. Because I was like, I watched a lot of stuff this week, but Megan
did too, but it was
joined
mostly-
Peacock this week.
Yeah, it was Megan.
So here's the thing. Critics loved it.
Did
I
you
had
like
no
it
idea.
better when it was called Child's Play as well?
It is very different from Child's Play, but it also common thread, obviously.
Does Brad Dourif do the voice of Megan?
No, I don't think so. This is great. You
Did he
guys
do
are
the
so
voice
great
of
with the gifts.
Chucky?
Chucky?
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
Charles.
Charles.
Charles. So anyway, I watched it
Charles-
last
Charles
night.
Lee
Critics
Ray.
really liked it a lot, like a 90 plus, and audiences enjoyed it. It was like a 70 plus.
Wait, critic scores were higher.
Yes, by
Oh, okay.
a lot.
That's surprising.
I didn't. If I'm going to go numbers, which for some reason I don't with games, but I do with movies, I think just to relate more. Numbers. I'd give it a 5 because I'm disappointed in it not doing more of the things I liked. And there's 2 things the movie does: horror and comedy. It's much more of a comedy than I was expecting it to be. And the parts that were funny, I thought were really funny. And every time I saw something funny, I was like, I wish they would push this more. Like, I wish they would go, like, follow that thread more because there's legit funny stuff in the movie.
You wanted more comedy.
Yeah, because it's very clear they know they're making a quote unquote bad horror movie and they're leaning into that trope or
Okay.
those tropes. And then with the horror elements, I don't think they go far enough because it's a PG-13 movie. So the ideas that they have are, crazy, violent, funny, but you don't get the enjoyment of see a
sure.
slasher movie to see that
Well,
stuff.
I might be wrong. Isn't there like an uncut version?
That's what I watched.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if
And
this
it
was the
still didn't go
uncut
far enough for you?
version, then I don't know what's in the regular version because there's a few more F-bombs. I guess too many F-bombs for a PG-13. I know you can have 1 F-bomb in a PG-13 movie. This had maybe 2 or 3. And there's nothing like, there's one scene where there's a lot of blood, but I know it sounds silly to say, but it's not extremely graphic. I don't know.
No nudity or doll nudity?
No nudity, no doll nudity, unless you consider like them not having flesh on their body nudity. Because you see
Spoiler.
like the robot version in the very beginning without the human accoutrement. But yeah, there are some really funny things. Like Megan moves funny on purpose. Megan says some things that are purposefully funny.
But it's funny. It doesn't. It's
they
it's
know
not like
they are
cheesy,
doing
like,
it to be
ugh.
funny. Yeah, no. Like
Alright.
I was watching it and I was like, man, if they just leaned more into the humor element, I think this would be a legit fun movie. But every time I saw something funny that made me chuckle, I was like, I wish they would do more of that because that was funny. But that's why the movie annoys me because there's something there. There's something there. I like a horror movie that still goes with all the horror elements and plays up the humorous aspects to, scary movie. The stuff that is funny reminds me of Scary Movie 3, not Scary Movie 1 and 2.
no.
And I happen to like Scary Movie 3,
I
whereas and it's
know,
more slapstick humor.
It's
I don't. The humor is not the same between the movies, but it's a similar style. So like, there's a scene where Megan gets like hit in the head very hard on purpose because somebody's seeing if she's like awake or alive,
Mhm.
and they do it in a way that's so over the top that it's supposed to be really funny, and it made me laugh because it's her getting hit in the face. Also, it's a dummy getting hit in the face, which is my kind of thing.
Oh
so,
yeah, well, yeah,
um,
I love watching like bad dummies like get thrown around and
yes,
stuff.
yes. So,
Bad dummies or like evil dummies?
and that's the other thing. They play it up like you have Megan where
Oh,
it's
sorry, I meant bad as in like unconvincing. looking.
Yeah.
there's Megan that's clearly a dummy, like just sitting there. Megan that is like some sort of animatronic with like a computer generated face, and then Megan where it's clearly a person in a suit, Megan, and that last one is the funniest one, obviously. And they make Megan like move weird and run weird, and like they do things to make it funny on purpose. And
I just remember I saw the trailer and I remember there's a scene where she like starts dancing or something.
yes, and in the trailer I was like, what's this all about? In the movie I was like,
What's all this
it's
about?
pretty funny because of what happens in
There
the
it
scene.
is.
So, but yeah, just disappointed because I do think there's something there worth exploring, but I don't think they took it far enough in either direction. So
Now,
it
why
just leaves
does-
me disappointed.
Why does a movie like that get a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and then name it and it gets like
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out. I don't know if it's I think critics that critics that watch horror movies are fewer than your average critic. So like your average critic turns their nose up to horror pretty often. So they saw Megan and just expected horror and don't watch it. So I think the audience who is really deep into horror gets this and they're like, oh, it's horror that's playing up some funny stuff. So I don't know. But audiences, even though not as crazy as critics, audiences like it too. It was a 71 or 72% or something like that. So
Guaranteed. Flush.
I don't think it's a bad movie. Just for me, I wish it went further. So there you go. But yeah, I watched a lot of movies this week. Maybe I'll talk about some more after the podcast. But
Yeah, I tried watching a horror movie, but
what one?
it's a movie called Skinamarink.
I watched it.
Oh my-
I watched it
Did
this
you
week.
did you watch the whole thing?
I watched the whole
Oh
thing.
my god, I had to stop after like half an hour when I realized that was what the whole movie was going to be like.
Now, I talked to my cousin about this because she said I got to see Skinamarink because she wanted to know my opinion.
Would you like my opinion?
I would never say this about any other movie except Skinamarink. I feel that is valid. I feel you putting in a half hour and being like, I can't do
Well,
this. I feel that's
Let me just
valid.
say, I think it would make like a really great, like very scary short film.
You said exactly the same thing I said. Yes.
And apparently that's how the movie came into being.
The guy
right?
made a short beforehand on YouTube. He's made some shorts on YouTube. Yeah, but that's valid.
Like,
An
I
hour
could
and
not-
40
I couldn't
minutes
do
of
it for
that.
an hour and 40 minutes.
Hour and 40 minutes of
just
that
couldn't.
is very tough. Like I can't. This is one of I can't think of any other movie where I'm like, watch the full movie or you can't have an opinion. This pushes that to an extreme because it is. You're staring at frames where something's happening in a corner. Maybe if you're lucky, 9 times out of 10, there's nothing going on.
It's mostly, almost entirely, made up of like static shots that are very dim,
Yeah.
very very grainy looking.
Think
which
of
is intentional.
think of shot as found footage, but not being used as found footage.
And
so
you almost never see like an actual person on screen.
you see like
very
the
briefly.
feet, the top of somebody's head.
Yeah.
Was it like Blair Witch Project?
It's filmed in the style of that, but it's not meant to be
It's
a
like-
found footage movie.
It's like if you found the footage and didn't edit it, you're just looking through.
See,
rough
that's the thing.
footage.
It's edited like a
Like if a
traditional
toddler
movie.
filmed it.
It's edited as a regular movie, but its style is found footage format. So
Yeah. Well, it's funny. People are comparing it to Blair Witch just because it's apparently very polarizing as well.
it is. Listen, when I watched the opening scene, which is just the title, and you see the kids sitting there or the feet or whatever, and then the next scene happened, and it was more of that, and I was like, "Is the whole movie going to be like this?" And then,
Is
like
it
you
meant to
said-
be disorienting? Like, is that what it's?
Well, I don't know that it's disorienting. The whole movie, you're like, I want I just wish someone would move the camera so I could see. It's not even so that you can see what's going on.
Like a bad
it's that
TikTok where
so-
you like move your head to look.
It's
and
the
you
feeling
can't
of
find-
wanting to see something, because no lie, you're looking at like corners of door frames and like bottoms of couches
Yeah, it's-
and like
It's supposed to be
TV
like
screens.
psychologically suggestive. You're supposed to be using your imagination.
There, and because of the grainy,
could do that at
static
home.
nature of the film, I do appreciate that your mind plays tricks on you, because you'll look, there'll be a static shot of a hallway or something, and it's very dark, and there's lots of film grain and static, and you're like, is something there? Am I seeing something? And your mind starts to play tricks on you. So I get that. I appreciate that.
Sounds infuriating.
But it is, I think it's the hardest watch I've ever had with a movie, ever.
Oh wow.
By like a long
Wow.
shot.
You were
I
that hard,
never
huh?
got to a point where I was going to turn it off, but I was like,
Were you squinting the whole time?
no, I was like, this is taxing me. Like, it's a very taxing watch.
Does it have a payoff for people who do sit through an hour
There
and 40
are
minutes?
there are a lot of like really creepy looking shots in the movie, but you'd have to,
There's
you really have
s-
to like
I-
like wait around for 'em, basically.
I think if somebody wrote the story down, like if I wrote down what I thought the story was and gave it to you, you'd be
That's
like,
called
"Oh,
a book.
that sounds interesting." But then if you saw it in the movie, you'd be like, I don't want it like this. like Kirby said, if it was a short film, I think it would.
But is
work
there a
infinitely
climax?
better.
Is there an ending?
There's a
like, where
climax,
you're like,
yeah.
okay, at least I didn't just watch home videos of.
Well,
some
I
stupid
can't.
kids
You know,
for an
that's
hour.
for. There's a definitive ending without a doubt. It's not like
Yeah.
you're like, what happened here? Something like it ends without a doubt. But
but yeah, I can kind of see this movie making you mad too.
Yeah, I already knew after hearing RMC talk about it with our other friend, I knew I wasn't going to like it.
I am
so I-
glad
so I
I
said that I
watched it,
probably
as
wouldn't
I
watch
am
it.
with everything. But it. I've said so many things aren't for everybody. This
This is a very hard movie to recommend.
Yeah, this is tough. Like if I was, I could not recommend it to anybody without like 5 minutes of caveats and everything. So it's tough, but it's interesting, and I appreciate experimental films. I'm down for it. I don't have to like everything. Hello, highly unlikely. So
Man.
yeah, I'm glad we felt the same way. Just it should have been a short, would have helped it in so many different ways. But that's that. As Deux said.
Did that just come across your desk?
Dude,
One last
right
thing,
through
because
there,
it is
burned a
about
hole through the
movies.
desk.
It's movie related, oddly enough, and then we'll get into the story. The news. I just want to say this. You're a TikTok man, you're a TikTok woman. Have you guys seen the man that is being relentlessly made fun of for his favorite movies?
No.
It's a guy. It's a quick clip. He's on some podcast and he's like,
Oh yes,
my
yes.
favorite films
Are
are
Avengers and The Greatest Showman. You know
Um,
what? He deserves it. No offense to
Oh.
him. He deserves it so hard.
I can't.
No, wait. When he said Avengers, did he mean the Marvel movie or the one
You-
with Uma Thurman?
He did
Oh
mean.
my
he
God,
did
that would
mean
be
the
even
funny.
He did mean the Marvel movie.
It's
Okay.
just it's the way he says it. Cause like, look, The Godfather's not the best movie, but like you just know this guy's never watched The Godfather and he's never watched anything. You know what I mean? Of the Avengers and The Greatest Showman. But you know what? He's like 20. So like, what are you gonna do?
Oh, okay.
Like,
Well,
Here's
that's
the-
fine.
So he's getting made fun of relentlessly,
Thank
and to the
goodness.
point of people being, just mocking him, to people being like, "This man is an idiot.
well,
This man
that's
knows
not
nothing."
cool.
Like he's getting raked over the coals,
yeah, he-
ungodly. Now, that stuff drives me insane.
What, when people's favorite movies suck? Yeah, me too.
Because
Just
all the
kidding.
man did was say his favorite movies. He never said somebody's movie was
He
bad.
definitely
He never
doesn't
said
deserve
he
it.
thought it was the best movie. He said these are my favorite
Yeah,
movies.
it does. He definitely does not deserve it.
Who
And-
is he that like people are so
He's
like pressed
TikTok's
about
most
it?
hated man. No, that's it. Because
You
they
know,
named
like-
two movies that make everybody
Oh,
think
man.
he doesn't know anything about movies.
But I could sit here and be like, "Oh, my favorite drink is root beer," and like 1,000 people aren't gonna be like,
It's
yeah,
typical.
"Did you
because
hear what she
bec-
said?"
That is
no,
an interesting point.
Because
Nobody
there's
is
no
as
pop-
passionate about root beer and other drinks.
it's because of you do it with music, movies, TV shows, video games. That's where all that lies, because that's all those are in the
All right.
zeitgeist.
Bring it on, everybody! My favorite video game is Flicky.
Yeah, but
Take
that's not
that.
even true.
Why would you lie like
How
that?
do you know that?
Because you would put The Last of Us over Flicky any day.
My favorite Sega game is Flicky. My favorite.
You wouldn't say that because Toe Jam and Earl.
Ooh, yeah.
You're so
You're lying. Tell the truth.
you're so contrary. You know what? That is why when you were a child, you got that solo in the kids concert. Would you care to sing it for us?
I've already sung it once on the podcast. I will not do it again.
I think Dew needs to hear it.
I do need to hear it.
Weren't you here when I sang it?
Please.
No,
Do it.
because you came at me hot. Nope.
No, you came at me hot.
I'm saying if you're gonna make a statement like this, make sure it's legit because I know neither of those were true.
I would like to air some dirty laundry.
Oh dear Lord.
Earlier today,
Oh, God, no.
Ramit and I were working on something, doesn't matter what. And he comes at me
Mhm.
with this. Why would you do it? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? And it kind of got me like, quite
Got her
like,
very fussy.
right? And so I said to him, in the future, I'm using I statements, right? When you do this, I feel this. Next time, please, this, right? So when you say it like that, I feel stupid. Next time, could you please phrase it this way? And I said, could you instead say, I don't think it's a good idea for you to do it this way. I think you should do it that way, instead of coming to me and saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? He cannot understand.
Highly Tom says the cat can sense this energy.
Well, it's funny because it was an argument over blocking off part of the basement, and she comes flying down
cat-
the stairs,
Yeah.
goes,
and
looks at both of us.
It wasn't just that the cat ran downstairs, looked at both of us, and was like,
Oh no.
Like, mommy and
It
daddy are
wasn't-
fighting.
Yeah,
It
right.
wasn't an argument.
No.
It was just like, but he can't for the life of him come to understand the difference between saying, why are you doing this? And me saying, next time, could you just say, I don't think this is a good idea. Could you do this? Or am I crazy?
you are, because I keep
Well,
saying
you know
this.
that I'm looking at Dew because I know Dew and I
keep saying this
share a lot of
because you always
similarities.
say this statement where I'm
When
coming
you're
from.
talking in absolutes here, you always say the statement. Be
You
careful.
often say this thing. Well, no, I'm going to take that back. This time, every time you're like, you're saying that I think like all I did was say, why are you doing that? I never said I thought it was a bad idea.
No, but the saying, why are you doing that?
I was just asking why
But
you're doing it.
again, it doesn't matter like what your intentions were if it made her feel a certain way, right?
And did
Isn't
I
that-
apologize?
Yes, he
and
did.
did
And
I say I would never do it again?
For the record,
Yeah, I
he
wasn't
has
like
never ever behaved in a way or said
Yeah.
anything to make me feel stupid. It's just that approach from anyone would make me feel like I was dumb.
Yeah, I multiple times was like, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I did not mean it that way.
know
I
that.
will be more conscious going forward. Like all of that. Like
Yeah.
this wasn't a yelling fight.
But
There
it's
was
like
no argument. It
if
was
someone
just-
approaches you and says, "Why are you doing that?" It's
That's the
different
thing.
from saying, "Hey, do you think that's like the best idea? I think you should do it this way."
But
or, like,
again, that infers that I think it wasn't the best idea. I was just saying, it was literally, why are you doing that? That was it.
Yeah.
Just why are you doing that? Not because I thought it was wrong, not because I thought it was bad. Just why are you doing that?
yeah.
But she took it as
So
a,
in general,
"Why are you
I'd
doing
say
that,
like, "Hey,
idiot?"
I'd say like, hey, what are you going for here? Like, what is your
'Cause I said to
goal?
her-
What is your end result?"
I said to her, I was like, how many times have I ever thought you were stupid, told you I thought you were
never,
stupid?
ever.
None. So I was like, why now are you thinking that? I didn't think that at all. So it was a nothing. But yes, she felt like I was saying she was doing something stupid or was being stupid, and that was not the case. Never would be the case. I know in this relationship I am the stupid one. So yeah, it's not a thing. Like it wasn't a thing at all. But
That's what you say.
but anyway, why would you do that? Man, there was so this poor guy, I just feel so bad for this guy.
Oh right, forgot about the guy. Already.
He's the real victim here. And just listen, guys,
I hope Hugh Jackman like comes to his aid or something on Twitter.
I hope Hugh Jackman
He's
is
just
the
the
greatest
type of
showman.
person to do that.
Yeah, listen, if you can disagree with the man, but it's silly to disagree with him because he didn't say, I think they're the best. He said they're his favorite.
and there's so
That's
many
what he likes.
and there's much worse movies out there.
If
I'm
he was
sure.
like, my favorite movies are The Greatest Showman and Avengers, and if you think that they aren't, you're an idiot. Then, okay. I'm not saying go at the guy, but I understand your frustration. This is a man saying, I like these things. And people are like, you like these things? How can you like these things? This is
it is weird that you'd go on the internet with any
Yeah.
opinion at all. You know what I mean? You should just
Well, that's the
stay
other
off.
thing. Yeah, like he was doing a podcast and like what's the whole scope of the conversation? I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet. I just felt so bad for the guy.
How do we get that kind of viral attention? Can we start saying some movies that we like that suck or something? Oh wait, is that what we're talking
There
about?
you go. I'm gonna say, listen, I don't want to be a part of that podcast. I will not be a host on a show that has a discussion like that, where they say I like this and you're wrong if you don't like it. At least from a serious standpoint, obviously. But like Ethan on H3 had a conversation recently about how he was like, well, it's clickbait, and you get to a point in the internet where you just got to do clickbait, and that's the way it is. And I'm like, I know he's right. If you want to get attention, I know he's right, but I'm not going to do it. He's 100% right. If you want to get viral and you want to get people talking and you want to get more attention, your thumbnails or your titles and all that, you got to go.
That would help you because you're still, there's still room for you to grow. He's kind of like so big that I don't think he would need to do that, and he still does it. So I have no sympathy for him.
Well,
Sorry.
no, because like those titles and thumbnails, that when they get when the audience that hasn't interacted with it does interact with it, that pushes it further into that algorithm. Then they're like, okay, well, these people might watch this because they see this thumbnail or they read this title, because everything else they've clicked shows them like that kind of content. So that those things don't just reach the audience you already have, it reaches it pushes you out to people who don't otherwise see you.
Well, you don't get paid enough to sell out like that.
Well, that's the thing.
Underestimate the power.
You get paid more if you sell out.
You go the sellout. No, not sellout. You go the clickbait route, and that gets you your viral moments and all that stuff, and then you leverage that going forward. But it's a thing.
And then we do like soy faces on the YouTube screenshot.
Listen, if it makes you click stuff, that's fine. That's why it's there.
Top
I get
5
it.
worst Switch games.
There.
I mean, it's not great for radio, but everyone listening, I'm making like what they call a soy
They're
face,
all
where
over.
you're like
that was a joke, man.
where you're like permanently surprised.
I've been having such an existential crisis lately with the stuff that I like, because all social media all the time this happens, but in recent months it seems to be going into overdrive, where my algorithms have gotten so mad at me because I don't click the clickbait that it's giving it to me 10 times over. I'm like,
Oh,
I
no.
never interact with this stuff other than say I'm not interested or block this channel. Like, I'm giving the exact opposite.
They'll break
And
you down.
it's doubling down and tripling down. Like, you name it. Marvel, Nintendo, video games, anime. My YouTube and TikTok feeds lately have been nothing but people crapping on all the stuff I'm interested in. And I'm like, where is my interaction here that I'm getting this? Because I've only said definitively, I do not like this. I am not interested in this. And I literally block channels, and it gives me more. It's like, perhaps we haven't found the right annoying person yet for you to like. Like, you know what I got last night? Something I blocked on YouTube a long time ago and said I'm not interested in for years now.
Oh, it's that gif of Mario and Sonic making out.
No, that I'm all about. That's what I want more of. No, the guys on YouTube who crap on every movie. They did the Star
Red
Wars
Letter
thing.
Media.
Yes. Now, last night I must have gotten like 4 of them from 4 different channels about the main guy being like, I'm not saying if you like this movie, you're an idiot, but you're an idiot if you like this movie. And everybody's like, ha ha ha. I'm like, why am I getting this now? What am I doing that I can't stop getting this stuff or getting it even more now? It's crazy. Hello, Burn and Cheese.
I just watched their latest video this morning.
What was it about?
Oh, it was their best of the worst program. They watched 3 movies. One of them was the latest Birdemic movie. Apparently, they made 2 sequels to that movie.
I didn't know that movie.
I didn't either.
Well, that's basically their movie night, right? They just watch bad movies and make jokes. I mean, that's what we do every Tuesday.
I think they watch movies and make jokes. I just like I like, what do they like? What do they like?
Oh, well, they have a show dedicated to movies that they actually like or feel indifferent about or don't like.
feel
It's
indifferent.
been
All
all
right.
over the place.
This whole movie conversation has gone a very long time. I
Yeah.
apologize. Let's get to Nintendo news, MomBrain.
I love it at Nintendo.
Shigeru Miyamoto, the man who invented Mario, which I'm sure plenty of people hate, he talked about Super Nintendo World, and he said there was another IP being considered for implementation at Super Nintendo World. This is before they opened it. He says, what? Thank you, Josh. He says there's a discussion about adding other IPs there, like Splatoon, but instead of having our focus scattered, we thought it would be easier to start with something focused. That's why we ended up starting with Mario. So, as you know, the parks or Super Nintendo World is filled with Mario stuff. There are some hidden Pikmin things in there as well, but they're just little Easter egg things. But they did consider Splatoon, but decided to hold off maybe for later. Who knows? They didn't say. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure we would love a Super Nintendo World to expand to all Nintendo IP.
So they're like, we'll start with Super Mario, our most famous, obviously, and our second most famous, Splatoon. What?
Well, I mean, it would. I mean, I know you don't.
Boo! Zelda, Metroid,
No,
Pikmin,
Metroid would be
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, definitely.
Let's do it.
So here's what you do.
Give me that KK slider.
If you're going popularity,
I want to see him. I want to see like a live
you
KK.
want Pokemon, Mario, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, and then after that you go lower.
With peace and love, I hope everyone enjoys this park. You don't need my grumpy old.
There's
ass
no
there.
Splatoon stuff there. You're okay. You're okay.
No,
but yeah,
fine
like
with
you
it.
as like a longtime Nintendo fan, you want Zelda. But in the grand scheme of things,
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
fine.
It's just It's just funny that, you know, I don't know. It's not funny at all. It's great. I'm glad it's popular. I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, Splatoon is, Breath of the Wild was the best-selling Zelda game ever, and it's at 20-something million now. But every Zelda before that, they certainly did well for Nintendo, but they were like, 8 million, 12 million, something around there. Like,
So it's a popularity. Just say it's a popularity contest, Miyamoto. Just say it.
well, you want, yes, your most popular IP represented earlier on. So Mario is certainly a 20 million plus IP, but he's been in so many games and is like at least like the mascot of the company. You got to do Mario, and he's got the, that's going to bring people in because that's what they associate with Nintendo, young and old. Like Splatoon would be for the younger crowd, obviously. Zelda would be for the older crowd, but also Zelda, like Splatoon, and you could do a lot of fun kid-related stuff with Splatoon. But what do you do with Zelda? Like, what do you do? I don't know. For a theme park, what do you do?
I'm sure they could come up with
You
something.
go inside Jabu's belly.
I mean, that would be cool. It'd
Right.
probably be like a
go through a
16-hour
sphincter.
wait.
You get coated in like a gross, like filmy ooze.
They'd have like the queue to get in would be that big guy before you could go in, and so it's like eerie.
Nice.
Yeah, hopefully someday the park will represent all of Nintendo's franchises, but I think that's a long way off. And honestly, the one I want would probably be last, so I'll never get what I want.
What do you want?
I
Star
want
Fox or something?
Yeah. Come on, an R-Wing ride? Are you kidding me? It'd be amazing.
I wasn't kidding at all. I'm just as upset about you that. Never mind.
You don't
Dre
want Star
Gamer
Fox
says
there.
Zelda Dungeon Escape Rooms.
Nikki Hill would love it. There you go.
Yeah.
Currybot says Splatoon would probably work better for Japan since it's popular there, since it's most popular there. But an easy activity for the park would be paintballing. Yeah, I'd personally like to see Zelda themes done before Splatoon. There you go. You and Currybo.
We're
Zelda.
the only two people who like Zelda in the whole world, apparently, Kuribo. Me and you, buddy.
No, I want to listen. Between the two, I would want to see Zelda more than Splatoon. Yeah, I mean,
we're growing, baby. We got 3.
I'm sure there would be thousands of people who would like to see Zelda before Splatoon, maybe millions, but who knows what's going to happen. Miyamoto, so he's been doing all these interviews about Super Nintendo World, but of course they ask him questions about Nintendo in general, and they talk to him about what's next for Nintendo and Nintendo's hardware and blah, 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 all that stuff. So this is what Miyamoto says. I think we're always looking for unique uses of technology, how we use that in a unique way, and to distill that into a product is what I feel Nintendo is adept at. When Mario was created, it became popular, and we thought that really Mario became popular because it was a fun game. And so we thought that for every introduction of new technology, Mario can evolve alongside that. For every kind of hardware, we've had a new Mario. Going back to Mario, for any future technology that comes out, we'll assess whether that's best suited for Mario and continue to evolve. Yeah, I mean, again, Mario's the flagship. Most Mario games will utilize the hardware in a distinctive way. Obviously it was a little bit different back in the day because systems weren't doing much in a way of new things other than better graphics. But Super Nintendo World was the launch game, or what? Super Mario World was the launch game for Super Nintendo. Game Boy had Super Mario Land, the first portable Mario. That's a big deal. Then, Super Mario 64 obviously ushered in the polygonal era for Nintendo and GameCube. Miyamoto was obsessed with the triggers on the GameCube controller, which is why he did Flood. And he's like, Flood, you can hit it a little bit to do a little bit of Flood, and which nobody ever does that. Who was doing that?
What, do a little bit of Flood?
Yeah, when you're playing the game, you're not like, a drizzle of Flood. You're like, let's
I
go,
always
baby.
went full-fledged Flood.
I like the click feeling on the GameCube controller. That's great. But Miyamoto, listen, that's kind of stuff Miyamoto like. He's the guy when Retro was doing Donkey Kong. He's like, what if Donkey Kong could get down and blow dandelions? And they're like, all right, Miyamoto, whatever you want. So he's the guy that's like, how about if you use Flood just a little bit so it spurts out? Nobody's like, I remember doing that and Sunshine and having a ton of fun. Not nobody. I'm sure there's somebody out there, but Super Mario Galaxy. Yeah, the Wii remote is used there to a lot for waggle, for spinning and collecting star bits. That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
A star coast.
Nice.
And Super Mario
Box of
Odyssey,
K-Ups.
focus more on portability there, obviously, but you can still use the Joy-Con to throw Cappy around. So, whenever Nintendo does their next piece of hardware, you can rest assured Mario will be there with a new mainline game, but then also it will utilize the technology in some sort of way, I'm sure, to a greater or lesser degree, but it won't just be a standard Mario game. It will be influenced by the hardware that it's on. So we'll see when that happens. There's been that long-standing rumor that they're doing a new 2D Mario game that's going to come out on Switch, and it's not going to be a new Super Mario Brothers. It's going to be like a different direction for 2D Mario. I hope that rumor's true because I would love that. I love 2D Mario game. I love the new series of Mario games from a gameplay perspective, but I want a different visual style because I don't like that visual style at all. I didn't like it when it was first shown, and I don't like it now. It's just too drab for me, or too one note for me. I don't think it's a bad game because of that. It's just
What
my
game are you
personal
talking
opinion. The new Mario series. It's in New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers U. I don't like that visual style, but that's a me thing.
That's a me.
I was just gonna say that.
That's good.
That's a me thing.
Miyamoto also says he doesn't like being called the Spielberg of
What does
video
this
games.
guy like?
Is he gonna say
he
something
likes blowing
anti-Semitic?
dandelions.
He does, yes. Miyamoto
He
says
likes upending tea tables.
I've also been called the Spielberg.
Can Donkey Kong do that?
I've also been called the Spielberg of the game world, but I actually don't like that. I'm Miyamoto. Miyamoto is Miyamoto, and Nintendo is
Yes.
Nintendo.
Spielberg is garbage compared to me.
Exactly. Spielberg's the Miyamoto of the film world.
Hey, once
Get it right.
once Miyamoto makes a game about himself growing up as a kid and becoming a game developer, then he'll be the Spielberg. But right now, that's just Spielberg. Whatever the name of that movie is, I always read the
It's
called the
Fablemans.
Fablemans.
It's
Thank
supposed
you.
to be pretty
I was
good.
going to say the Dunkelmans.
It's a fable.
Man.
Yes, I have heard that it's excellent.
David Lynch is in it as a
just
cameo.
Been so. Listen, I get. Here's a movie about how I've made movies and how my movies are great. Like, blow it out your ass, Spielberg. But that's a me thing. I don't think the guy's bad. I would watch the movie.
Well, that's a direct quote. What you just said.
Yeah,
also,
that's right.
also
So,
it's about
he did say that.
Also, it's about Fableman.
That's right. You're right.
They're clearly not the same person.
You're right. You're exactly right. He actually switched the initials in his name so nobody would know. So it's actually Steven Spielberg. Oh wait. Anyway,
Steven Spielberg.
however, I do feel very honored to be compared with Disney. But with that said, rather than comparing Nintendo to Disney, I feel that Disney, to some extent, especially for families, represents a sense of reassurance for families. I feel like Nintendo is well known for video games, and usually video games don't equate to reassurance very much, but Nintendo is associated with games, and the fact that Nintendo is being compared to Disney really gives me confidence that we've gotten to a point where we can bring Nintendo to the concept of reassurance and perhaps give that reassurance. So that's something I really feel like we were able to achieve, and I'm happy about. So he's like, hey, parents see Disney and are like, Disney's cool. Our kids can play this, or our kids can watch this, and everything's cool. But Nintendo parents are like, hey, Nintendo's cool. I know Nintendo. My kids can play it, and everything's cool. So I get that.
So he doesn't like being compared with a Jewish filmmaker, but likes to be compared with a corporation that was started by a Nazi sympathizer. Okay,
He doesn't
I get it.
He doesn't personally.
I get it. No, I understand.
He doesn't
You don't have to keep
personally
talking.
like being compared to Spielberg, but he does like that Nintendo as a company is compared to Disney as a company.
I understand.
Thank you. I understand.
As far as his viewpoints on Jewish people, I do not know. I never heard Miyamoto.
Well, look,
listen,
let's not accuse him of anything.
I just don't
Even-
know. I've had
even in
one
jest.
chance to interview Miyamoto. If I get a second chance, that's my first question. How do you feel about Jewish people?
Are you scared of the golem?
You're gonna have to write these questions down for me. Giant Reggie says Miyamoto was later quoted saying, "quote I am not Spielberg, but I do know him."
Nice.
That's great. That's great. There's certain Nintendo things that are forever burned into my memory, and that whole thing, that whole presentation, because it starts with the guy saying, "Ladies and gentlemen," but he doesn't know his mic is on, or he didn't hear himself, so he says it twice. So it goes, "Ladies and gentlemen." Ladies and gentlemen, and then Miyamoto comes out, and then I'm not Link, but I do know him. And don't compare me to him, is what he says after that. Miyamoto also says that working on Super Nintendo World, or no, this wasn't said by Miyamoto. This was said by somebody that works alongside Miyamoto, Shinya Takahashi. He says that Miyamoto was so involved with Super Nintendo World that it took him away from game development for a while. Takahashi says, quote, I think for a few years, Mr. Miyamoto was not super heavily involved in some of our software development.
That's lost in translation.
Okay.
I think.
And the reason why is because he was working his butt off trying to get stuff for Super Nintendo World done. And he
I'll
says
take
it was
the
a true
Nintendo
collaboration, though. That's good. So yeah, Miyamoto hasn't been too prevalent in game development in recent years, and some of that is due to working on Super Nintendo World. Currybo says that hasn't been a bad thing, in my opinion, allowed other creatives room to grow. I agree. I certainly agree with that. Like I said, Miyamoto, now that he's a fellow or a creative fellow at the company, peeks his head in and he's like, hey, make that ape blow dandelions. And they're like, you got it, Mr. Miyamoto. To be clear here, I do really like that mechanic in Donkey Kong Country Returns, but it is a very Miyamoto thing, like to fixate on this little idea that like doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things to the game, but that's the kind of stuff Miyamoto lives for. That's his bread and butter. So that's kind of why I like it. But anyway, finally, our last little tidbit from Miyamoto, he talks about expanding the reach of Nintendo's IP. He says, this is something we've been discussing for over 10 years with Mr. Iwata. Nintendo has a lot of characters. I think that sometimes Nintendo gets tossed in with other companies in the field of video games, but we've got to think that Nintendo's biggest strength is its characters and how they are used in different types of media beyond just games. In that way, really trying to leverage all the characters we have and not just limiting ourselves to games, but finding the best media for the characters to thrive in is something we really want to keep an eye on. If there's a business opportunity, we'd certainly love to explore it. But Nintendo's a company with many different talent involved. So, yeah, we've seen Nintendo's been making moves into cinema, more merch, mobile stuff. So, yeah, they want to expand the reach of their IP and bring those people into your ecosystem, as we're seeing with our friend who's watching The Last of Us and now wants to play video games. So it can happen.
So, but by this rationale, if we're going by what's going to be next for the park, the next movie after Super Mario Brothers is going to be a Splatoon movie. They're never going to do a Zelda movie next if it's not as popular.
What's next for movies? I don't know.
I mean, I don't even want to think about like what's next in the movie realm for them because I don't care as much as video games. But like, But like, yeah, what
You know.
you think they would do a Zelda, but you're telling me they're not even going to put Zelda in the park. So why would they make a movie?
No, I'm not saying they're not going to put Zelda in the park. I'm just saying right now it's not part of the park. They could. We don't know anything about what's next for these parks, and that's years down the road as it is. You know, as far as movies go, it's better. I would imagine they'd start from a place of what would work better cinematically, and I would imagine if they're trying to build a cinematic universe, I don't know. It would be tough to fit Zelda in there. Wouldn't you think? Versus a Splatoon or a Kirby or a Animal Crossing.
I don't want to see it.
Like a Metroid. Forget it. Like what? I don't know. But they're expanding. Miyamoto also talked about Zelda anime would be better. Says Alternates Liz. I mean, I do love anime. I'm down for whatever with that. Yeah. Yeah. Miyamoto also talked a little bit more about Mario, saying we're always working on Mario. So when we get to a time where we can share information, we'll certainly do so. Because they're like, tell us about the next Mario game. He's not going to tell you about that. He also cleared up his thoughts on story in games, because over the years it's become a thing for people to say Miyamoto hates story in video games. It is very true his games do not have a lot of story to them. He focuses on gameplay. But Miyamoto has taken a chance to clear this up. He says, it's not that complex stories are unnecessary. That's not what I'm saying at all. Story is one way of explaining a game. I think story is just another way to pull out enjoyment from the experience. Another is to focus on a gameplay experience that gets you to try things over and over again. As I mentioned, story is one way to explain the game. And when that goes well, sometimes people take the route of starting with the story. For me, the starting story is how to make the gameplay fun. And that's how I begin thinking about creating a game. So again, it's not that story is unnecessary. It's just how I create games. So Miyamoto says, my story point is I want games that are fun and I focus on gameplay, and then we'll handle story later. Other developers focus on story first and put in gameplay later. And that's fine. So there you go. Miyamoto does not hate story, even though this has become a talking point. It's just not the way he likes to make his games. He focuses on gameplay first.
This is Miyamoto heavy this week with the news.
He's been doing so many interviews with the opening of Super Nintendo World. Kurbo says, can they do more orchestral concerts with Nintendo music? Bring back Ballad of the Goddess. Yeah, that would be nice. I'm all about that, but who knows? I don't know what Nintendo's plans are. It seems like Nintendo doesn't know half the time. But anyway, there's your Miyamoto tidbits. I don't think we have any more. I'm probably wrong, but anyway, moving on, Josh, to something you're interested. Activision and Call of Duty, bro. Hell yeah. As Microsoft has said in the past, they are willing to bring Call of Duty to all systems should they acquire Activision Blizzard. They are trying their best to acquire the company, but there keeps being roadblocks keep popping up and pushback and stuff. They're not giving up. I'm sure they will fight this tooth and nail with the deepest pockets in the world until they make it go through. But we're not there yet. But Sony has been taking the point of, we want Call of Duty, and we can't live without Call of Duty, and this would be unfair. And Microsoft has said, we'll give you Call of Duty. We'll sign a deal for you for Call of Duty. We'll work on extensions for the deal of Call of Duty. And Sony just continues like, we're no. So Microsoft this week let a bombshell drop.
You dropped the bomb on me.
Microsoft has said they would they'd be interested in bringing Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms, Switch, and beyond. Well, now Microsoft has gone one step further, one big step further.
Mm-hmm.
This was shared by Microsoft. Quote, Microsoft and Nintendo have now negotiated and signed a binding 10-year legal agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo players the same day as Xbox, with full feature and content parity, so they can experience Call of Duty just as Xbox and PlayStation gamers enjoy Call of Duty. We are committed to providing long-term equal access to Call of Duty to other gaming platforms, bringing more choice to players, more competition to the gaming market. So this isn't a way, we'll do this, trust us. This is, we have signed a legally binding deal with Nintendo for 10 years. So should the Activision Blizzard deal get approved and Microsoft purchases them, then this is officially happening. They cannot get out of it without causing all kinds of legal ramifications for themselves. So Microsoft's going really hard. They went to Nintendo to sign this deal, and of course Nintendo's like, yeah, let's sign it. Sure. Nothing is happening yet. Again, they need to make this acquisition go through, but Sony still hasn't done anything, and Sony's in a real bad position now because Sony has complained about this, that, or the other thing, and Microsoft has fired back by saying, okay, we'll do all that. And now Sony's still like, oh, well, no. So
Microsoft should just be like, you know what? No more Call of Duty on Sony's systems. Take that. I mean,
Well,
like they're going to lose a ton of money, I guess, if they do that. But
well, I mean, that's what Sony is trying to avoid. So really, I don't know why Microsoft would do that, because Microsoft's gotten more into the subscription service and business, and they want the game everywhere. So if they can put Call of Duty on Xbox on Game Pass, put it on Switch and PS5, and people pay $60 for it there, why not?
they should have been like, you know what, Nintendo, we'll give you Call of Duty, but you got to bring Zelda on over to the 360. They still have the 360, right? Is that the system they're on?
That's their main one, yeah. That's what you have under your TV in your living room, the 360.
Yeah, this just actually crossed my desk.
So yeah, listen, again, I say this every time we talk about Microsoft. I'm not all for our corporate overlords and all that stuff, but Microsoft has answered what Sony wanted over and over and over again, and Sony keeps saying no, because we know in the beginning Sony's had a bad faith argument about all of this, and they've done the things that they accuse Microsoft of doing, but now they just don't like it because Microsoft has much deeper pockets and can make this happen. So they just see Call of Duty as being that important. So I don't see it being as important as they think it is, but I really don't see, like, because Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, that people are going to start buying Xboxes to play Call of Duty when it's still on Nintendo platforms and Sony platforms. So
Call of Duty, bro.
Josh is playing it wherever he can get it. I know that.
You're a sweaty.
You're a sweaty.
You know what
Don't be a sweaty. Be a
That's
go-getty.
right.
You know what the U.S. government should do if I don't know if this is true. I haven't looked into it. I wonder if our soldier count is down. But what they should do is work with Microsoft, open up a Call of Duty world, like a Disney World thing, like a Super Mario World, like we were talking about. But it'll just be like an army base where they just train people and then they ship you off. And I mean, you're already shooting guns in another country at other people before you know that the ride is over.
They could bring you into the park and they put you in the
That's
line
right.
for the ride,
That's how
but you find out the end of the line is like an actual war. You just were waiting to get into.
Yeah.
They're like, here's a line to a helicopter, and I'll go, 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 go.
And you buy a wristband to get to the war faster.
That's right. You go fast past. Currybo says, this agreement has a big fat asterisk on it that depends on Microsoft's acquisition
Asterisk.
of Activision being successful. Also, watch it be cloud versions if they're going for feature parity. First point, yes, we understand that the acquisition has to go forward for this to happen. Yeah. Second point, cloud version, certainly worthy of asking for clarification on from Microsoft. I don't think they would do that, though. I really don't. I like how people say things like Switch could never run Call of Duty. Like, it obviously can. Like, you're pretending like Call of Duty games never existed on other platforms before. Would the graphics be as good? No. Would the gameplay be the same? Yeah, it could be exactly the same. What major gameplay innovation has Microsoft or has Activision Blizzard done with Call of Duty that's not possible on previous gen systems? Nothing. And I feel that way for almost every game. So this isn't a Call of Duty thing. But speaking of another franchise Dude's a big fan of besides Call of Duty, Pokemon.
Oh.
February 27th is Pokemon Day, everybody. Really? I think it is, or is it the 28th? Whatever. February 27th is the Pokemon Presents presentation that everybody knew was coming up, but now it's officially announced. 20 minutes, airs at 9 a.m. in the morning, New Jersey time 9. And you'll be hearing all about what's next for Pokemon.
Is that really a holiday, or it's just the day because they're having an event?
What do you mean by is it a holiday? Like nationally recognized holiday?
Is it Pokemon recognized as
Yes,
Pokemon Day every year?
It's been for years. Yeah.
The 27th.
Yes.
That's my mother's birthday. My mother's a Pokemon.
Wow. Which Pokemon is she?
Republico.
Oh!
But I've seen everything.
Fox Newsico, Crazy Lady-O, Florida brain messed up.
Brainworm.
Yeah, I don't know. She's
a lady.
She's a great lady.
She's a lady.
She's
So
a
yeah,
great
February 27th, guys. Look forward to that. It's rumors. What are the rumors of? A new Pokemon mystery dungeon. Rumors of Pokemon Sleep finally getting talked about again. Who knows? We'll find out together, everybody. And we will be here to cover it. Sokar says, I bet the majority of the news would be S/S getting tons of fixes. Scarlet and Violet, I think he meant. And offer free content to early buyers of the game. Well, I'm sure they will talk about some updates. I agree with you on that. Free content for buyers of the game. I don't know. We're going to skip this one. Not the kind of direct you're into, do. Perhaps you'd like a Mario-related direct. We found out that on March 9th. Oh, sorry. March 9th at New Jersey time, 5 p.m. Nintendo and Illumination will be hosting a Super Mario Brothers movie direct. No game information will be shared during this. This is only movie related. And what is it going to be? Probably another trailer for the movie. Maybe we'll see Chris Pratt pretend like he knows about Mario again. What an embarrassment.
Oh no, what happened? What did I miss?
Oh, this was months ago. This was months and months ago. Here, you know what?
He's like, he's my favorite German plumber. I actually like him.
Let me
he would have said like German engineer. No, yeah, he's an Italian plumber.
Let me bring up the here you go.
Italian plumber, Mr. Pratt. What?
Here you go. This is Chris Pratt, mind you, an actor, unable to do one piece of ad lib.
Who do you think you are?
Right?
Sorry.
Growing up, man, I spent hours of my life stomping Koopas.
Yeah, I believe him. Too. I believe him.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I know he's busy. It's probably like the 20th like ad he had to do that day or something for Disney or whatever it is. But like, you can't do take two. You can't go, okay, like take two. We'll do it one more time. Chris, that wasn't great, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll do one more. And they're called Goombas.
Could you have one where you act like you know what you're talking about? Yeah, and I forget everybody else. Like Anya Taylor-Joy was great. Jack Black was great. Like, you know, people talked and you're like, oh, I believe you're a normal person or you're being a good actor here. Either way, I like what you're saying.
That's the thing about
stomping Koopas.
And I don't know. I obviously don't know at all, but it just seems like as he's gained more popularity, is like taking a piece of his personality away each time to like create whatever like his handlers want to see in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't seem like the same person. Obviously, you have to make some sacrifices if you're going to go that big as far as becoming a star.
Well,
but,
that's
like,
the thing. Like, his
he seems
popularity,
insane.
his popularity has waned in the last few years by a lot. Like, people do
because
not
he
like
went
him.
crazy. Like, I think it's because of that kind of stuff.
I don't think he. Yeah, I think he was always crazy, but you know, mask off, as the kids say nowadays. You know, you find out about let's just say, I don't want to get into this discussion, but the things he's into and he believes. Let's just say that people have been like, oh, this kind of guy. So, as I said, this direct will not have any game information, as Nintendo confirmed. First comment comes from Joe Shabadoo, and they say, can't wait for information on a new game. You guys are funny. I mean that too. I should have been keeping. Hello, Ned Mara. Good to see you.
Hello, Joe.
MomBrain, you got to jump in when people are in the chat and they say things. Hello, video game guru. Just like hit me with anything.
You always do that.
I love hearing from the people.
Sorry.
I'm in here and I'm missing the Bonsai Buddy. Is that what those are? That little purple monkey, not Magilla. Right, the little thing that like walked around on your computer screen.
I thought that was like a fake Donkey Kong, but this is, I guess,
no,
totally
it's like
different.
a little back in the like Jesus. This was late high school, early college. You used to be able to download these little things that like walked across your taskbar and were like they would like talk to you and be your friend, and then you could never uninstall them.
Like Clippy.
Like Clippy. Ice Dilber says, I miss Clippy. There you go. I search, I sing, download, I schedule, I tell facts, I laugh, I browse, I email, and I talk. Video Game Guru says that was a virus.
Please note that Nikki Hill and Sally are watching.
Where am I supposed to note that?
Oh my God.
It was a joke.
Okay.
It was a joke.
Wow.
Boy, oh
wow.
boy.
Sorry. I
fell for
Thanks,
it.
Stu. Thanks,
Hook,
Stu.
line, and
I
sinker.
really did. Yeah. Next time, maybe do it with like a sarcasm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go to the Chris Pratt School of Acting next time and do a bad job.
Don't be so mean.
I was acting.
Oh,
We're just saying,
Acting!
yeah, you're very good at pretending to be a dick.
Thank you. I
Okay,
pretend.
Sally girl. Just letting her know
Okay.
we acknowledge her.
we speak her name.
Like our
Get all that bread,
like our
girl.
tribal chief. Get that bread.
Sally girl is our tribal chief.
A new print ad for Tears of the Kingdom came out in Japan from Famitsu magazine, and it shows a destroyed Master Sword. Something's wrong with it.
Spoilers.
And translated, it says the Master Sword corrupted. It also includes a line that says the Master Sword's appearance will undergo a major transformation. Now, is that the transformation there or a transformation based on that? I don't know. So the question is, of course,
Will we still have to use different weapons because they break? Because that sucks.
nah, that is a question on
/
the internet.
Reddit.
I was going to
Ooh,
say,
there's a picture of Street Bread Sally eating actual street bread on the last walk.
gonna get
I was
sick.
going to, hello, Zikamuto. I was going to say, is Fee or Fi going to return?
What about Fo or Fum?
I don't know how you say
Nice.
it. F-I. Well, let's get a,
We still don't know how it's
who says
pronounced.
Fee?
I like Fee.
Is
I
it
would go
short
Fee.
for something or no? Wasn't it short for something?
Not that I
I
remember.
don't remember, but I think I called her Phi.
I was Phi, but
So
yeah.
where are Fees and their Fi's? I don't know.
But to be
yeah.
honest, until you even mentioned her, I forgot that she existed. Like
Oh.
it's like maybe maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but
It's
like
popular.
it at this table, but like maybe one of the worst Zelda.
I would be
like,
fine with her not
sidekicks.
returning.
Yes.
I'll just say that.
Many people do not like her at all.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying I don't like her, but
Hi,
I like
TKO.
her. How about I like her the least?
Out of what? Every Zelda character, or
I mean, I'm trying to think of one that I don't like, and I'm not talking about characters. I'm talking about sidekicks like Eslo or Linebeck or Navy or
Yeah, someone who's with you through most of the
Navy?
game.
Do you really say Navy?
I used to say Navi, but
Yeah.
I think it's
It's Navi,
Like navigate.
like navigation. Yeah.
that's what I meant to say. Yeah,
I thought you were doing Navy as a joke. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
navigate, Navi. Yeah, so
Navigate.
that's what navigate, Navi,
Navigate.
Navi.
No,
So I knew it was short for navigate, but I don't know how to pronounce navigate, obviously. So
Okay.
I was.
This is really funny because last night I was playing Fortnite and my cousin was talking about something and he pronounced it in a way that made all of us laugh. And he's like, "Why is that weird?" Okay, it's an ice cream treat and it was discontinued and it's shaped like another food.
Choco
Choco
Taco.
Taco.
Yes.
Did they say Choco Taco?
No, he said Choco.
Oh.
Choco Taco.
Choco Taco. And we were like, Choco?
Yeah, it's made from chocobos.
But
we were
it's
like,
chocolate taco.
yeah, we said it's chocolate. And he's like, it's
And
I just
also
said-
it
then he said
rhymes. Choco
chocolate.
Taco.
Yeah, but yes.
Do his children?
No, they laughed at him as well.
Okay.
As they should have.
They were right
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah.
Now, is it because he's bilingual and he is inclined?
Well, how do you say chocolate in Spanish?
I don't know.
Maybe he's well, what's the name of that one movie? Chocolate.
Chocolade.
Yeah, but is that
No,
Spanish?
I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know. If it
Rest in
was a
peace,
Spanish
Choco
movie.
Taco. You're
hey
right.
man, after noobs, Choco Tacos are so good. If there
Oh,
were
I
like,
didn't know that, Burn and Cheese.
Maybe
there
I'm
were like
thinking
2 or
of,
3
like,
times
water
this
for
week that I
chocolate.
was gonna stop at Taco Bell on my way home
Taco Bell?
because I was in Trenton and there's a Taco Bell on my way home. But I had like stomach pain, like not an upset stomach, but my stomach was in
Because your
pain
stomach
all
knew
week.
you were thinking about getting
So
Taco
I was like,
Bell.
I'm not adding insult to injury here. And now I'm sitting here thinking, I wish I had
I wish
a
I
Mexican
insulted that
pizza.
injury.
You
You know what I
injury.
want? These are 2 things I've been thinking about that I want. They're both from Wendy's. French toast sticks
And diarrhea.
and diarrhea. And they're garlic French fries.
But we can get French toast sticks from like ShopRite.
I want
Remember when you
to
were on a
try
kick?
Wendy's French toast sticks. They're new.
Well, we're gonna have to get up early then.
What? They serve them all day.
I doubt it.
I want Wendy's.
Give me
Now.
Look it up.
a keg of beer.
Look this up right now. We're gonna find this.
After
out.
Noobs is asking me to settle something. Lay it
Settle
on me, After Noobs.
Settle your hash. Does Wendy's serve?
Hallie and
breakfast
Tom
all day?
says, I want to try Wendy's French toast dicks.
Oh, I'll try those.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if I don't think Taco Bell used to have Choco Tacos, but I
What?
mean, I didn't go
that
there
was
when I
meat.
was like
No,
a little
that was
kid.
meat.
So-
Brown liquidy meat.
Oh no, they give you a frozen taco
They-
by mistake.
Yeah, they would just give you the taco. They just wouldn't defrost it.
So contemporary Taco Bell, to my knowledge, does not have Choco Tacos. I think the only dessert I've ever really seen is those cinnamon
Yeah,
crunchies.
cinnamon.
All right, so
twists.
Wendy's does not serve breakfast all day,
Oh,
but I'm trying
That makes
to
sense.
find if they're French toast sticks.
After Noobs, if you had that experience, I believe you. After Noob says they swear they didn't, but I freaking got them there. It's just like what is that? The
Okay, he's
Berenstein Bears.
They're talking the late 90s. I stayed out of it because I wasn't sure, but I could have sworn they had Choco Tacos back in the day at Taco Bell as well.
All right.
Maybe like in like a freezer that sat there. You mean? Like I don't know. I was
They
gonna
probably
say
had
the
a freezer
the
that
show
sat-
floor.
It wasn't like in a gas station or something where you go into the freezer
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
yeah.
you
Which
order
is the
it,
only
but
place you get a Choco Taco, gas station.
or like an ice cream truck down the
Right,
shore.
right.
Those were the only two places I can remember getting them.
Okay, so French toast sticks are not included in breakfast. They're included in sides and more.
Oh,
So
well, then you should be able to get them all day.
Hmm.
Would you like me to have some delivered?
I would like you to call Wendy's live on the show and ask them if they
No.
serve them all day. Please.
Is this
Please.
like-
You're smiling. You want to do it. Please do it.
Is
Please
this
do
their
it.
best kept secret?
I don't know. It could be.
All date French toast sticks.
Oh my god, I love this is why I love our podcast because it's so stupid and I
'Cause
love
it's
the
all about
stupid
food.
moments. It's all about food. Now that I don't eat like I used to, it is all about food. I have dreams about food all the time. Going to IHOP the
You
other
dream
day
about
with
going to
you
the
was
land
like
of
one of
chocolate?
the first things first.
I had a lot of fun.
That was
actually.
great.
It was
Wasn't
a
that
great
was great.
day.
We haven't
Second
done that in a
things-
long time.
second-
It felt good.
I missed you being there because here's the story. We went out to his neck of the woods because MomBrain was looking. I wanted to go to the antique shop. This was not planned in
We
advance.
should
This
bring
was,
in what you got.
This was the same day,
I'm sorry, when was this again?
last weekend,
Oh, okay.
Sunday. So it was just, I was like, what do you want to do today? That's what she said. And I was like, that's out where Deux lives. I got in touch. He met us there, whatever. I hadn't eaten anything all day. I said, let's go to IHOP because IHOP's out there. We went to IHOP. It was just us three. He got a milkshake because he had already eaten dinner or whatever. We got giant meals. It was great. We had a great time.
It looked really good, and we had fun. And you know what? I didn't think about while we were there. It was just like really great. I didn't think about like, wow, we never do this. We
Yeah.
like it's great to be back out doing this. Like I didn't think about that, and I'm glad I didn't. It was just kind of like being back. It was
Yeah.
just like we were. I
Right.
don't know. It was just.
We had a great time. We had a great
It
conversation.
was like cozy and
but
nice.
I seriously
and-
did
yeah.
miss you being there because
Oh,
you are the one I went to IHOP with last. It was me, you, and Nikki Hill.
that's right. When I tried one of their burgers.
Yes, yes.
Is that
so
the building? Is that the building we were in when the 3DS
Yes, it
launched?
was a
it the
Perkins.
3DS?
it was a Perkins, yeah. Before that was a Bob's Big Boy. So we should
Oh,
do it again.
yeah.
You're calling?
I have a Wendy's phone number.
Let's do it. Place your bets in the chat now, guys. Do they serve them all day or not? Make sure they know they're live on a podcast. No, I'm joking. Please make a Wendy's nuts joke.
Hi, I was wondering if you could settle an argument for me. Do you serve your French toast sticks all day or are they just breakfast?
Just breakfast.
Yes! Thank you so much. I win. Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
You won,
Well,
but at what cost?
thank
Everybody
you.
else loses.
At the cost of flavor. At the cost of
Aw.
flavor. Well, MomBrain, I accept my loss and I honor your win.
Thank you.
I honor our friendship and I honor our love.
Now we know. Well, they were on the
Ooh, Red
size menu.
Souza. Check out what Red Souza said.
Red Souza says, RMC, you've inspired me to do more walks for health reasons. I've lost about 3 kilograms. Congratulations.
Nice.
I'm going to say that equals 28 pounds.
Yeah, how many
what's a
stone is that?
kilogram?
Or
Yeah.
stones?
Yeah, right.
Bern, you see what Bern She says? They say, yes, is this Wendy? Can you settle an argument for me? Are you Wendy?
Do you remember?
Is Wendy there?
So I really like fried bean curd.
Thank you, Hailey and Tom.
And once when ordering Chinese food, Raw Meat was like, can you please call it fried bean turd? And I was like, sure, yeah, no problem. And as I was doing it, Raw Meat had the like silent tears in his eyes laugh because he couldn't stop.
Yeah, well, even better than that was the one where you said best kept secret for McDonald's cinnamon bites or whatever they are.
And one best kept secret, and the person was like, what? I was like, one cinnamon bun?
Oh, I think I was there when that happened.
Oh man, what a time. Currybo says in Tears of the Kingdom, the special power of the Master Sword is that it gives enemies tetanus. There you go. I mean, tetanus will kill everything. It doesn't matter what you are. It doesn't matter if you're a monster. It doesn't matter if you're a human. You're dying from tetanus. North America, what do we got this week? Let me tell you. We don't got French toast sticks. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Octopath Traveler 2. Redemption Reapers. A Fox and His Robot. Afterthought. Animal Lover. Arcade Archives Grobda. Yeah, Animal Lover. Someone that loves animals.
Animal lover.
Well, you said you were an animal lover earlier, so this is right up your alley, this game.
Animal Alley. Fan of Batista, maybe? Bill and Ted's Excellent Retro Collection. Yes, that is the NES game, and I believe the Game Boy game in one digital collection.
Classic.
Classic,
released,
classic
Bill and
bad
Ted
license games. Bit Trip Collection. Brock the Investigator, and yes, he is an alligator.
Oh, I was thinking of Brock Lesnar as like a noir detective.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the detective skills in him. Choice of Life, Middle Ages 2. Clive and Wrench. Draw and Color Kawaii Definitive Edition. Diadic. First Queen 1 Next. Galaxy Revo 2. Green Soldiers Heroes. Grim Guardians Demon Purge. Grisaya Phantom Trigger 8. Heirs of the Kings. Hike Isle. Horror Tale 1 Kidnapper. Ink and Paper Doodle Cut. Intruders Hide and Seek. Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth. Who the hell's Ken Follett? Somebody look him up.
He wrote,
Oh.
Didn't he write?
The Pillars of the Earth?
Yeah, my girlfriend's actually reading one of his latest books.
What the hell? Well, the Switch game is out right now.
Cow, he's a regular Dr. Kawashage. You know, in his
Close
brain
enough.
age.
Yeah.
He started out writing like spy novels, and then he moved on to like historical fiction. He's
And then
apparently
moved
very
on to video
popular.
games. Little Kong Jungle Fun Premium Edition. Loot Box Simulator. Crimson Fire. Loot Box Life Plus. Lucy Dreaming. Midnight is Lost. Nature Puzzle. Neodori Forever.
Mm-hmm.
NOS New Operating System Deluxe Edition. Overshoot Battle Race. Planet Cube Edge. Psychophonies What Ghosts Say. Remains. Remorse The List. Roadstones.
Roadstones.
Ranui's Tale.
Roadstone.
Rumble Sus. Ripmos.
I had really bad roadstones coming back from California.
Sakura Magic Girls. Sentry. Oh my. I didn't get the Demon Slayer tickets yet. What is wrong with me? Remind me of that, MomBrain. Sentry Paragon. 7 Doors. Snake Core. Stack Tower Up 3D Builder Simulator. Don't crash. That's what it says. TerraTech.
Oh man,
Prospector Edition.
it's like Burnout all over again.
The Crimson Flower That Divides, The Lunar Coupling. That's an Otome visual novel. Otome means it's a visual novel geared towards women who like to be romanced by men.
Oh, take a look at my Crimson Flower.
The Dwarf Kingdom Magic World of War versus Orcs and Dragon. Tyrant's
One
Blessing.
dragon.
Void Terrarium 2. Warplanes Bundle. Yonesawara Hospital. And finally, Z World Zombie Death Wars Survival Platformer Game Left Killer Box 2023. Now, Josh if you will.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
You got this, Stu?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Dew Michaels filling in for the one and only Nikki Hill, talking about European Switch eShop releases for the week February 23rd, year of our Lord 2023. It's a big week for Switch, folks. 4x4 Off-Road Driver 2, Aka R, Animal Lover, Big Adventure Trip to Europe 3 Collector's Edition, Bill and Ted's Excellent Retro Collection, Chef Life, a restaurant simulator.
Chef Life is coming out here in March. If you want the game now digitally, you have to go through the European eShop.
You heard it there first.
Michelin
folks.
Michelin star recipes and meals that you create in that, by the way.
Meals. Do you copy and paste this list, or do you have to write all these out? That's not.
The list
game,
the list of names. It's a press release.
Okay. Well, they need to get a better spell checker. Cyber Heroes Arena DX, Digimon World Next Order, Dr. Smart Space Adventure, and Dr. Stupid's Underworld Adventure. Well, that's not a real.
That's
Not
Dr.
yet.
Stupid.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted that Dr. Stupid.
With your host, Dr. Stupid.
Dyadic, Frog Hop, Galaxy Revo 2, Gigantosaurus Dino Kart, Grim Guardians Demon Purge, Hike Isle. Is that like what's that walk game? That a long walk?
A short hike.
Yes. Oh.
You were close.
That's really good.
That's pretty funny. You can't
That's
make
really
that up. Horror Tale, Hunapu Quest Mechanoid,
It sounds exactly right. Yeah.
Intruders Hide and Seek.
Nope.
Intruders Hike and Seek.
Yep.
A Short Hike and Seek. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Labyrinth of Galleria, The Moon Society. Loot Box Simulator, Crimson Fire. Midnight is Lost. Mosaic Chronicles Deluxe. Okay, bear with me on this one. Ninja Jajamuru Retro Collection. Ninja Jajamaru, The Great Yokoi Battle and Hell. Sorry, that sounds... It's not a laughing matter. Ninja Jajamaru, The Lost RPGs.
That's again from that. He sings that in the Wii Virtual Console song.
Oh, really?
Ninja Jajumaru-kan.
Oh, wow. Man, good for that song. Nonstop Space Probe.
Now that's my kind of probe. Get to the
Lock
core.
door and turn the lights down low.
They're really going to, going for the black hole. Octopath Traveler 2. Piano, Learn and Play. Pixel
Mm-hmm.
Lines 2. Into the Puzzleverse. Planet Cube Edge. Pocket Academy 0. Redemption Reapers. Rise of Fox Hero. Rooftop Renegade. Rumblesus. Sakura Magical Girls. Seven Doors. Snake Core. Tamacanon. Tales of Symphonia Remastered. The Crimson Flower That Divides. Lunar Coupling. Twice Reborn, a vampire visual novel. Tyrant's Blessing. Warplanes Bundle. World War Prologue. And last but certainly not least, Yonasawaru Hospital. Yonasawara.
Yeah.
Yonasawara Hospital.
Thank you, Dew. I appreciate it.
And the games this week were so exciting that no one could bring themselves to comment.
I was looking at comments. People are lighting up other comment sections. The ones that are guaranteed to
There
get
you go.
comments didn't get them this week.
Yeah, whoever did your Metroid Prime review did a really great
I
job,
know.
but got a lot of attention.
I was gonna bring that up earlier. Yeah, that's the people are clamoring to comment on that one, which is great. I meant to say earlier, thank you, people, for the the engagement. That's what I'm supposed to
I'm
say.
growing my hair back, people.
And Nintendo, thank you for writing an excellent review. Big week this week, as Deux said. I don't know if he was joking or not, but there are a lot of notable titles. Aka R is the release of that arcade game that Atari never put out. I'm just skimming through to get the Grim Guardians Demon Purge. That's from Inti Creates. It's basically a classic style Castlevania. It's great. It's great. Now I can talk about it. Really, really, really great. I did not do the review for it. We have another review up for it though. It's fantastic. If you like classic Castlevania, it's awesome.
So
They
it's
did a really good
stages?
job. Yeah, stage based.
Oh, okay.
Except the stages have multiple branching paths in them. So it's kind of like Castlevania 3-esque.
I was going to ask
Castlevania.
which game it's the most similar to.
And it's also like Portrait of Ruin because you switch between two characters when you play.
Jonathan.
Nice.
Or you can play co-op and each one controls one character. And the
Oh,
characters
cool.
are so one has a Jesus, I don't remember. Oh, one uses a gun and one uses a melee
A
weapon.
different type of gun.
And then they each get different abilities. So when you beat a boss, you get a new ability, but each character gets a different ability, like grenades or a floating jump or blah, blah, blah. So you use the two and switch between them on the fly if you're playing solo. And I'll talk about it more later, but it's great. Kirby's Return to Dreamland is a big one this week. Octopath Traveler 2 is a big one this week. We got a lot of good stuff in there, and I'm just browsing through quickly. I know I've seen some of you guys playing stuff online through my own Switch, so people are enjoying what's out this week. Microsoft gave a really stupid comment about Call of Duty on the Switch. Again, not confirmed to be on the Switch, but it could be on the Switch if this deal goes through. Microsoft's president, Brad Smith, was asked about how Call of Duty would run on the Switch. He said, quote, "I'm not the right person to dive into the architecture of each platform," end quote. And he could have just stopped there. But then he went on and said, quote, "We will ensure our games work exactly the way people would expect," end quote. So, of course, the headlines are like, it became a joke. Most people are like, Call of Duty will run as you'd expect on Switch. And people are like, oh, like garbage.
I
Great
expect it to
job,
be
Microsoft.
bad.
Yeah. So I don't know why he could have just said the first part and left it at that, but he didn't. Somehow this man is unaware of how the internet works, which scares me, but he did it to
I
himself.
envy him.
Game Freak says, I know you already pointed it out in the article, but he set it up so easily, as you'd expect. So like garbage with fewer features, more glitches, and generally less care shown to the product over the other platforms, resulting in poor sales, which will be used as poor justification
this
that
is
the
a long
audience for this game
sentence.
doesn't exist on the platform. Got it. Thanks for letting us know. For the record, I don't really have any interest in Call of Duty games, so don't take my opinion seriously. Well, if they do poop them out and they're not very good, they're still locked in for 10 years. So they got 10 years of diarrhea.
Well, Brad Smith also says that his favorite movies are Avengers and The Greatest Showman as well. So I don't.
God.
Let's
Well,
go
Kill
hard
this
on this
man.
guy.
Holy
Let's
shovel,
go hard
man.
on him.
Burn him at the stake. Okay. I'll ask this. I have not seen one of those movies. Has anybody here seen The Greatest Showman?
It's a
haven't.
musical, right?
You
I
haven't?
think
I
that's
have
why I
not.
wasn't that
Okay.
interested.
I was okay.
Yeah, I really shouldn't be talking trash.
It could
'cause-
soon be all of our favorite movie.
Well, you know what? I
Can't
would
wait.
I would give it a shot, but I'm not, for the same reason that Kirby just said. I'm not really into musicals, and but like I got nothing against Hugh Jackman, and I respect that he did a musical. Like it's what he wanted to
He
do.
loves doing
He
musicals,
loves that
yeah.
kind of
He's
stuff.
doing
Yeah,
a
that's
stage
his
show right now.
background,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
out there
so
singing
it's
and
like-
tap dancing somewhere.
Like I'm happy that he's doing his thing.
No, we can't be happy for when people are happy or like things. We've learned that. And this poor man, again, not Hugh Jackman, this
Oh.
poor guy on the internet is realizing that he made the critical error of saying what he liked. And now he is being destroyed for it. So remember, do not like things unless you already know people already
Well,
like
just
them.
you can like things, just don't tell people
Don't-
about don't tell people your favorite
Yes.
movie on the internet.
Hide in the dark, like things
He's heading
alone,
towards
never share
certain
any
death.
thoughts with anyone.
And it wouldn't.
But
be-
if you hate things, tell everybody.
And he wouldn't be getting nearly as, he'd still be getting trash, but he wouldn't be getting nearly as much trash if he was like, my two least favorite movies are these two movies. Just
Oh,
like if
he
you say
wouldn't- yeah.
say you don't like something, then people are like,
That's
even if
cool.
they like it, they're like, okay, well, whatever. Like
You might get a few people who are upset, but the vast majority would not care or
Yeah,
applaud you
it's
for
the
it. Yeah.
liking it that
You
gets
can't
you.
like things.
Yeah,
Don't like
it.
things.
Don't like it.
Don't like your favorite. Your favorite. I can't say this any more clear. Your favorite is wrong. The movie you've picked as your favorite is wrong. That's wrong for you.
That goes for everybody out there. So don't have any favorites.
Your favorite has to be what my favorite is. And that's the only one that matters. But yeah, just hate on
Wrong.
stuff and then you'll be safe. Our last top story, Nintendo is officially skipping E3 2023. They will not have any presence on the show floor. Big deal? Not really. Big deal for E3 though. Nintendo says we approach our involvement in any event on a case-by-case basis and are always considering various ways to engage with our fans. Since this year's E3 show didn't fit into our plans, we have made the decision to not participate. However, we have been and continue to be a strong supporter of the ESA and E3. So Nintendo's like, hey, E3, we love E3. We're not going to be there, but we love you, baby. So not really a
We're
big
not
deal.
going to be there, but we love you, baby. I wish they would get like an American spokesman that was like a Frank Sinatra, and he'd just like go around and be like, Nintendo's not going to be there, baby, but we love you, all right, and then do like the snap and like the,
Yeah, right.
the little slap on
Sorry,
the face.
kid.
You know?
Mystic Boy says, hopefully there will be a proper direct between now and September. I know Nintendo operates on their own schedule, but I would hate to wait that long again, like what happened last year. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo not being at E3 just means they're not going to have a booth and not going to have stuff on the show floor. Not really a big deal for most of us, but everybody's like, but please do a direct. Obviously, we all want a direct. Will Nintendo do one around E3 time? I don't know. So E3 for me this year just got a lot better.
Nice.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Whatever direct Nintendo does around that time, basically, let's say summer, will be the one that everybody looks forward to or looks towards as Nintendo's E3 replacement. So we'll all find out together, everybody. That's your top stories. MomBrain, what the hell have you been playing?
Penny and Flo.
That's it?
Yep.
How's it going?
Great.
That's great. Kirby, what have you been playing?
Oh, nothing this past week. Sorry.
Nothing for me, Mr. Herman. Thank you, Kirby. All right, do have at it.
I've done it all.
You've
I've
been a
said it
busy
all,
boy.
ladies and gentlemen. So, I beat Resident Evil Deadly Silence this week on the
Oh,
old
nice.
DS. Thank you very much. Took me about 4 hours, so I still got it.
No Jill sandwiches or Jibble sandwiches?
You know, I always thought it was Jibble Sandwich, but the subtitles were on, and it said Jill Sandwich, and I
Yes.
knew, for
That's-
years that it was Jill Sandwich, but
Who
it
says that,
still
Barry?
Barry,
That's
but
Barry's nickname for Jill, Jibble.
it still sounds like Jibble to me.
I wonder why we never put that on the soundboard.
That's a good point.
Everything in that game should be on the soundboard. Like seriously,
the
it's all
And it was
so
Barry,
good,
too.
and like you have to wonder because like I don't think when they recorded that stuff they were thinking like, oh, let's make it bad on purpose. They just
Yeah.
literally
I thought about
they
that
just
too.
cut like the worst actors ever, and
Were
they
they even actors or were they like
probably
people who
not.
worked on the game?
Exactly right. You think they wouldn't be because they're so bad, and like all the emphases are on the absolute wrong parts of the sentence. Every sentence, not one sentence is read properly, and that's what makes it so dang charming.
I have this.
Yeah, like just how out of place all that stuff is, and
Does
Don't
it have the same
open
voice
that
acting
door.
as the original?
it has the same.
Storvis Corbin is asking.
It has the same voice acting. There's one character that's different. Any old school Resident Evil fans might know Richard, the man who succumbs to his giant snake bite, or as they call him, I was going to say rope, but that's what they call snakes in Zelda.
That's right.
I forget what they call. It's got a stupid name in Resident Evil as well. But anyways, they have a different voice actor for him because they've added for the DS game. They added like a couple of little like knife mini games to it, and there's something that you have to do. Like I didn't play the DS version. I played like the old school version on the DS, so I don't recall exactly how it goes down. But basically, because of like one line that they had to have this guy Richard say that was new, they got a whole new voice actor, and believe it or not, he's even worse than the original. It's like. Yeah, it's.
had a lot to live up to.
I almost, and no offense to this voice actor, if he was trying to be bad, then he nailed it. But it almost sounds like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but like it sounds like he had like a piece of his brain taken out, and they were like, read these lines.
The old Ray Liotta.
Like it was pretty bad. But anyways, I had a ball playing the game as usual. It's What's weird about that one, and I mentioned this briefly last week, is it's like a warm blanket for me. Everyone's got like one of those comfort games, or if you're sick, or like a chicken soup type game or movie or TV show or whatever. This is one of those for me, and it doesn't seem like a traditional one because it's like a, like kind of a horror game, and it's like got dark themes and stuff like that, and it's got creepiness and stuff. But for me, I've just played it so many times, and I just know it like the back of my hand that it just feels great. And I was curled up on my couch playing it and really enjoyed it. So thank you for listening.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It was fun to get back to it. So because I was doing that, and because Resident Evil 4 is coming out with a remake, I was like, it's been a long, long time since I've actually given Resident Evil 4 another shot. I will try to do Resident Evil 4 before the remake comes out, because let's face it, I'm probably going to get that. So I started playing Resident Evil 4 on the Switch. Now, I've had trouble. I've talked about it a couple of times over the years. Ever since the Wii version came out, I've had trouble going back to the old control style. And I think you played the game recently, did you not?
I just played through it last year, I think.
Cool. So then that the controls still hold up, but like it's different now that it's not like, because we're used to the dual thumbstick controls for everything. And this doesn't have that. It has, I guess it was originally on the GameCube, so it's got like one control stick, and you kind of like.
Yeah, and I originally played it the GameCube version.
Yeah. So but we all did, so it was like at the time it wasn't a problem, and it still really isn't a problem, but like it was tough for me to get back into it. I played a good maybe 3 hours. And I don't think I'm going to be going back to it just because it wasn't grabbing me like it used to. But that's a game that I feel like all they have to do is offer a new control scheme. Like just put it out with the dual thumbsticks, and then you got it.
That one's going away, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess that's the point, is it's going to be gone. And the only thing we're going to know about is this remake. And I've actually done a little bit. I don't want to spoil it for myself, but like I've done a little bit of research on this remake. It looks very, very similar. Obviously, there's going to be differences, but it's almost like, why are they even doing it if they're going to make it look almost exactly the same? But whatever. Who am I? I mean, we all know I'm going to buy it. I'll be first in line like one of those jerks. So I'm not even going to complain about it. But that's just what it is. So I don't think I'm going to go back and play it. Trust me, I've played the game a million times. I just wanted to have one more like fresh round in my head before I played the remake, but I think it's just it'll probably be a little more detrimental to my psyche that
when does
way.
that come out?
April, I want to say.
Oh.
It comes out pretty soon. But so there's that. Thanks to you and reminding me, I downloaded the full trial of Katamari Damacy reroll on the Switch. And, I think I just watched you play back in the day.
I didn't say anything. I knew this was the case, but you wanted to know when it was there, so I let you know.
Yeah, I don't think I actually played that game. I think I just watched you play a lot of it because I had the soundtrack all these years.
I was going to say, you probably listened to the soundtrack more than you played the game.
Now the game is still really fun. It's kind of like a pain in the ass to roll that thing around. Like they do it, like it's a very particular control style, and it's almost like if your controller had like one of those like arcade ball, like if it was like a ball, like so you have to almost think about your thumbs rolling the ball around. And it's kind of difficult to get a hang of. It's like difficult to master, but
it's the same feeling the Prince of the Cosmos goes through. It's tough to live up to your father. So
and I guess I didn't read anything that the King of the Cosmos said, because he's
Asshole.
he's not a really nice guy.
He's a horrible guy.
He's got such a cool song that you were just like, this guy's awesome, and he like has a cod piece, and he looks totally cool.
Yeah, he just spends the whole game crapping all over his son.
Yeah, it was pretty cruel.
It's like, you can't lump up garbage like I can. I'm the king of the cosmos.
Yeah, but
Never
it's
get better than your old man.
But man, is it a freaking funny, charming game? And there's not a bad song in the whole thing. Like the soundtrack is what makes like you could lose 10 times in a row and won't care because the soundtrack's so awesome. But and there's just something about the first time you pick up a human the first time you pick up like a cat or a dog or a human is so great because you're going around, you're getting bigger gradually, you're not really noticing it at first, and then like all of a sudden, like you roll over something that like previously, like you didn't even know it could be picked up. You were like, oh, this is just part of the and then like the game, like you just laugh out loud. Like I laugh and laugh every time I pick up somebody and do something dumb. It's just so
I like how when you pick
funny.
them up, they'll make a noise, but then like their limbs also move very quickly, so they're like
It
flurrying
looks
around.
it's so funny. And then you have like 10 people and all this junk in a ball, and he's like, all right, we're shooting them into space, and they just like throw it up into space, and it's just really funny and charming and hilarious and weird. It's like it's so weird. And like, yeah, I know you could throw a rock and hit like a million weird Japanese games. I can't tell you why this one, ever since I first saw it all those years ago, spoke to me. Like
I know
it's
why.
just
You're
so
a
good.
marble rolling game fan.
Well, that's
Koro Rinpa.
Yeah, that's true. I do like Marble Madness and Koro Rinpa, but like I don't know. This one's just different. Like No More Heroes and this, they're both real weird and real Japanese. But like for some reason, those two I can get real into and defend to the death. But like I can't say that about everything like that. But yeah, these speak to me. I don't know what it is, but Katamari is really fun. I don't know how many more days I have on that. Today might be the last day. But it was worth it. So I'm glad that I tried it. I got to like level 6 or 7. But yeah, it was good. A lot of fun to get back into that.
Rosemary Farmer says, popping in late to listen on a drive back home from a little weekend trip. How about we got some live? Hello.
Isn't that lovely?
What a great time to spend in the car with us. I mean, you can't make a trip any better than that. We're clearly the most entertaining podcast out there.
The soothing sounds of our voices.
Complaining about movies, talking about video games, trying to order French toast sticks. What more could you want?
What was what did I just say about road trips? It was that game
Roadstones?
Roadstones. Yeah. Avoid those roadstones out there.
Don't get roadstones.
Stop if you have roadstones.
Also known as piles.
Yeah, stop and apply anointment, I guess.
All right. Now this is what I was going to say. This is the news everyone's been waiting for, but no one at all knows news. Because
I know.
Secret. So ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything about me, you know that I grew up a Sega Genesis boy. Now I had the NES, and for some inexplicable reason, RMC loves to think that I got it because of blast processing, and I watched a commercial as a child. I can't say whether or not that's true. I think it's because I went to my godfather's house as a child, and he had just gotten the Sega Genesis, and he had Sonic, and like I made my mom get him a quote birthday present of Streets of Rage. And he wasn't even home when we got there because he was living with his mom, my great aunt. When we got there, he wasn't home, and I like begged my great aunt, and of course she's gonna say yes. So like it was like when Homer got Marge the bowling ball that said Homer on it. Like I basically opened up Streets of Rage and played it without him even there for his birthday.
I gotta test it out for him.
And then I was like, I want a Genesis. That's all there is to it. So I think that's where it came from originally. But that was a kind of a long story. Regardless, then I went to like N64, and I had PlayStation and all that stuff. But I had every other Nintendo system other than the Super Nintendo. Now I did get a chance in the Wii era to like play a couple of Super Nintendo games, and I have liked and enjoyed that experience. But what I really wanted was to relive this kind of portion of my childhood that as if I couldn't get immature enough, but that I didn't get to have back then. And I spent like 2 weeks scouring the internet trying to get myself a Super Nintendo Classic. And I eventually was able to get one.
Finally!
Thank you very much. So I have the Super Nintendo Classic. I hooked it up. I absolutely love the form factor of this thing. I love the controller. I've never even once, I think, in my life have I really held a Super Nintendo controller, like a real one. Like this feels great. I love everything about it, like the form factor, the the menu screen and the fact that you can do like borders, like all those little things. There's 21 games on there. I mean, you guys probably talked about this 5 years ago when it came out, but there's not like a turd in the whole bunch. And I've done like a lot of research. Like these are like some of the cream of the crop of SNES games. Regardless, I've been playing a few. Now, when it came in the mail, I had a buddy over at my house, and we ended up trying out Contra 3: The Alien Wars, which I never really played that much of. It was really fun, and we made it to maybe like the 4th level, but
so you got to that big skeleton guy.
We made it to the right before. I think before that, like you're climbing up the wall and you're shooting things on the
That's
side.
the level with
and
him, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's where we got to. But the second level is crazy. Like
Top down.
it's like so
Mode
ugly,
7,
but,
baby.
like, but man, and then if you press the shoulder buttons, he does like a weird like spin shoot. It was great. But like what was great about that was we didn't know how to play. I mean, there's only a few buttons, but like we didn't know how to play, and we weren't looking at the instruction booklets like in the old days. So when we figured out by mistake that you could do that, like we were like hooting and hollering and yelling, like it was like we were children. So like I got to play a little bit of that, and that was fun. And then I wanted kind of when I got some time by myself with the system, I wanted to do like what a kid would have done when he bought the system. So I booted up like Super Mario World, and I had played that before on the Wii, but it never really spoke to me. I still don't know how to fly with the cape. I'm trying people. But I'm having a ball with Super Mario World this time around. And I think a lot of it has to do with just I'm in a different mindset. I'm really, really open to this experience now, and I'm playing it on what looks like an original Super Nintendo. So it's like really hyping me up. So I did that, but what I really wanted to do is like delve into some of like the meatier titles on the system that I never got a chance to. And I've been playing Super Mario RPG, The Legend of the Seven Stars. And I can tell you that I am very, very surprised at how well this game holds up. It's really, really fun. It looks great for a Super Nintendo game. Looks really good. And the controls are like so on point. Like the what do they call it? The controller pad. It's not called the D-pad on the Super Nintendo for some reason. It's called the control pad.
No, it's a D-pad.
Well, you should talk to whoever made Super Mario RPG, because in it they call it a control pad. But
maybe Nintendo hadn't trademarked directional pad yet.
Yeah, D-pad might be like an unofficial name.
Yeah, D-pads.
D-pads, yes.
But it's actually really, really fun. The music is top notch. The gameplay is really fun. I like it because it's an RPG, but it's simple, but it's not so simple that it's for babies or anything. But it's not so heavy of a story and deep gameplay mechanics or anything. It's not really that involved. There's barely any, it's kind of pretty relaxed, and it's fun. And they introduce a couple of new characters that are really fun. They use a lot of again, I'm talking about a 30-year-old game that people probably play, that everyone's played. So forgive me.
We're talking about what we're playing.
but yeah, there's the way they use the Mushroom Kingdom and the characters that already. There's a couple of familiar faces, and they turn some things on their heads that are kind of fun, and there's a lot of humor in the game that lands really well. I mean, and keep in mind, you're just reading text from a Super Nintendo from 96 or something, and you're reading it, it's funny, and it's this is really clever and funny. And some of the animations, there's the animation when Bowser is crying is one of the greatest animations I've ever seen. There's an animation where Mario does a reaching for the heavens, and it's just as good. It's so funny.
There's an edited animation in that. They changed it for America
because he's given the finger, or it looks
Bowser
like
goes like this in the Japanese one. So.
Yeah, I did a lot of research on the game because I've been really into it, but I can't believe how much I'm enjoying this game. I'm pretty close to the end, I think. So I'm really happy that I've gotten into it. What's funny about this is it's done the similar thing that RPGs have done to me that I've liked in the past, where I played it, my first couple of play sessions were like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I like stop and do something else. And then as I get into it, then like now my play sessions are like 2 hours because like it's just fun. It's like really, it's actually Rick a really fun game. So I've been enjoying playing Super Mario RPG. I'm a little late, but you know what? This is the experience that I wanted.
Doesn't
like,
matter that you're late. You got there. That's what matters.
and the thing is just so great. I wish Nintendo, I don't know, made them easier to get or something. You know, it doesn't matter because now I've got them, and I guess everyone who wants them probably has them now. But like, I am just so happy I have this thing. I'm in love with it. It's just so cool.
Guy Bones wants to know how Super Mario RPG so far compares to Earthbound.
It's different because Earthbound is I think like a bigger story and a deeper story and a deeper like mechanics and stuff like that a little bit. I like Earthbound overall better. I'm not finished obviously with the Super Mario RPG yet, but like they're knocking it out of the park, or they knocked it out of the park with the Super Mario RPG when you think about just the presentation of it. You know what I mean? Because like Earthbound looks fine, but like the graphics in this, it's impossible to look at them and be like, I can't believe this is Super Nintendo. Like it's almost like N64, like first gen graphics. Like it's I mean, it's not really, but like it's pretty good. Very impressed with this game on almost every level.
I was going to ask you what you thought of Geno. Malik Halo put a Geno GIF in the chat.
I'm cool with Geno. I don't use him that much. I use right now. I'm Bowser, Toadstool, and Mario. I was Bowser, Malo, and Mario for a long time.
Malo.
And I do love, as
Malo.
much as I love Malo, I just figured out today that Peach has like a better healing spell. So or Toadstool.
Malo's out.
Yeah, so I swapped Malo and Toadstool just today. But yeah, no, I think it's really great. I'd love to see like them do like an updated sequel or something in the future. I think obviously a lot of people would probably like to see that, but
yeah.
And I've played Bowser's Inside Story. I've played the 1,000-Year Door Paper Mario. So I've played what, Mario and Luigi's Superstar. There's another one I thought I played, but regardless, this I really like those games. I definitely want to try them again, especially 1,000-Year Door. I remember having a lot of fun with that one. But this seems like it kind of it's got like a little bit of all that. You know what I mean? There's like a little bit of inspiration in those games from Super Mario RPG. Maybe I'm being too bold or misremembering a lot of that stuff, but I feel like there's a lot of inspiration there, and I feel like they never were. You know, they probably didn't want to make a rehash of Super Mario RPG because Square was gone, and that's probably why they kept doing different things with their RPGs. But it'd be nice to almost go back and like have it be simple again. But I'm getting like ahead of myself right now. I'm just enjoying playing games that I haven't played yet. I'm planning on finishing Super Mario RPG soon, and then next, I don't know what I'm gonna play on that system. Probably Mega Man X.
Oh,
because I've never played. I mean, let's face it. I've never really played any. Well, I haven't played any X games, but I haven't played any like other than like Mega Man 11. I haven't really played any other Mega Man besides 2.
A good soundtrack in the Mega Man game. X has got a killer soundtrack.
Well, I'll probably do that next. I do want to play and finally get through, because I've never gotten through Final Fantasy 3. But I don't want to play an RPG right after an RPG. So I'm probably going to do Mega Man X, or maybe even like Donkey Kong Country. That's another series that, forget it. I've tried and I've played the first level of every Donkey Kong game 100 times, and I just cannot do it. So maybe this time I'm actually going to force myself to do it. Now, I've heard that Donkey Kong Country is not necessarily the best one. Apparently, Diddy's Conquest is the best.
Well, out of the 3 on Super Nintendo, I'd say Diddy's Conquest is the best, but Donkey Kong Country is right there with it.
As long as it's still playable.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I
When I got my SNES Classic, I think that was one of the first games I played through.
I might
Nice.
like one better because of the environments. There's something about one that's more like there's something about it. It's more serene,
A little more atmospheric.
atmospheric. Yeah. There's more like one is more about like you're in the jungle and you're in the forest and you're in the mountains and the snow, and two is like you're in a volcano and you're on a pirate ship and you're on a
Well, I mean, you're on a pirate ship in the first game too.
at the end, right? Yeah. But like two's environments are like, I don't know, they don't hit me the same way. But two is fantastic. It really is good. But one just
Well,
I
for
don't know.
me, it was never about the environments because I always thought the game looked great, and I thought every song I've heard from the games has been great. I just couldn't understand. It's like flying with the cape in Super Mario World. I have no idea how to do it. I try. You run fast. You jump in the air. You press back and then forward. But then he falls, and then I don't know. So I don't get it. The traditional save has been saving my life basically with these games. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to play them, on a real Super Nintendo.
That's the thing. Like with Donkey Kong Country, it's not like there's no like weird quirks or anything. It's just like a regular. It's pretty standard platformer.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I think there's like it's like hit detection and like jump boxes or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but like ledges. Like I just can't seem to get like there's a depth perception thing.
No,
where
you're
I'm,
right. Ledges in that, like the artwork in Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 and 3. There's a little bit to where you can land and where you can't land versus a Mario game. Yeah, definitely. I get that.
So I think that has something to do with it, but
you got traditional save now.
But we'll see. I again, I want to get into all of these.
Here, let me tell you how to
games.
make it fun. Switch to Diddy instantly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Screw Donkey Kong. He's fine. He's fine. But Diddy's the one that's way more fun.
Okay.
He's also quicker.
He is quicker. Remember, if you somersault or cartwheel, you can do it into a hole and jump out. They get a midair jump once you do their thing, which is a lifesaver. So if you do that into any hole, you can, before you touch the bottom of the hole, you can jump out.
What a hole.
So, yeah, I have a feeling it'll click for you this time, but keep us posted.
Well, I'm already excited. I mean, just the fact that I'm excited to do it, that I'm excited, I'm looking forward to this. I'm almost like rushing through this RPG game to play more games because I'm excited to play more Super Nintendo games. And I don't know, the system is just so cool. It's done so well. I absolutely love what they did with it. It just feels great. So thank you, Bruce Willis. Thank you, Museum.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think that's probably everything that I played. Thank you for listening, and keep patting my back, ladies and gentlemen. RMC, have you been playing anything crazy this week?
I didn't play anything crazy, and I didn't play too much just because I was watching movies. I was telling people I would watch movies they've recommended, so I've been doing that. But I did play stuff. Obviously, I played Fortnite, had a lot of great games in Fortnite. As always, Fortnite's the best. Long live Fortnite. I am a sweaty. And then the only other thing I played this week was the PSVR 2.
Ooh.
I got my PSVR 2, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to talk about this. So controllers, great. The new controllers are great. Really like their design. The headset is probably the best VR headset I've ever used. It's very light, very comfortable. Very easy to put on. Like I really enjoy it. Like I'm very impressed with the headset. Lots of comfort aspects that are great. You can feel like you can really lock in a view that looks good for you. You know what I really like? I didn't really read about this at all before I got it. It's a new video game thing. I'm gonna get it. They did something fantastic. The headphone. It comes with headphones and they're little earbuds, and they're on like a plastic it's kind of like a head strap, except it connects to the PSVR. So they're always on it. and the PSVR on either side has little holes that you stick the earbuds into to leave there. So like they aren't dangling or anything. You store it with the headphones plugged into it.
It's a
And
nice
then when you're
touch.
going to play, you just take them out and put them. It's great. I really like that little touch. Setup was incredibly easy, really easy. And the setup was actually really cool. It's like, okay, just look around in your room and we'll look at the space and we'll get an idea of what it does. And it makes like polygon triangles all over the walls and the floor and everything. And then it does like like it sends out like a thing and it builds the room around you. And I'm like looking and I'm like, this is awesome. And I'm just setting
I'm
this
just
thing up.
setting up.
Yeah. It's like Millhouse entering his name and whatever that game was. Bone Storm. So setup was cool, all that stuff. So the headset has vibration, which is cool. I didn't even know it had
That's
vibration.
interesting.
So yeah, setup system feels great, plays great, all that. Now here's the other part. I will say, to steal an old person phrase, the bloom is off the rose. VR was and it is still amazing in a lot of ways, but
Too many people are getting hurt.
you need I keep falling down to it. You need thank you, Red Susan. You need software there to make the hardware enjoyable. And there's really not a lot out right now on PSVR that isn't already available on other VR systems. So like, I haven't committed to buying anything new yet. There's one new game coming out that I am getting. PSVR 2. Let me look up the name of this game. As you guys can tell, I can't remember the names of. I was gonna say shovel. Crap lately. It's a scary game. It's in this damn. The Dark Pictures Switchback VR. I'm very excited for this game. So it's a first-person on-rail shooter that's very scary. And it uses the eye tracking, and there's certain scenes where the game forces you to keep your eyes open, and if it tracks it, you close your eyes. When you open them, something's going to be there to scare you. So I love that idea, but I also like on-rail shooters and everything, so I'm down. Looks very exciting. I'm buying that right away. But yeah, I haven't bought anything yet. I'm contemplating. The only things I want to buy right now are the upgrades to the games I already have. Like I want to buy the upgrade to Res because I love Res. I want to buy the upgrade for Tetris because Tetris is fantastic, but they're like $5 upgrades.
So you don't have to purchase the whole game again. Thank goodness.
I technically I think it should be free, but whatever,
Agreed,
$5 or $10 for an upgrade.
Isn't that crazy? It's like I bought this headset for $400. I bought this headset for $500. I bought the game for $60.
Yeah.
Oh, $5 extra for the upgrade.
Yeah. So nothing that I wanted to jump in on that was new that is so fantastic. Kirby, you were looking for something.
Oh, I was gonna the moment's passed, but I was looking for the Tetris for free sound clip.
So I haven't committed to anything new yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. That one game is the only one new game that I know that I want. So I've been playing demos. I downloaded the demo for Horizon Call of the Mountain, and I played the demo start to finish.
Oh, so this is actually made for VR. This isn't like
This
Zero
is
Dawn,
only
but
VR.
like updated for
Only
okay.
VR, only PSVR 2.
So are you first person then? I guess you have to be, right?
Yeah. It's not fun. I had an enjoyable time with it, but I was like, do I want to play a whole game of this? And I was like, I don't know. It was like, okay, here's what I'll say about PSVR. It's obviously much more powerful than PSVR 2 is obviously much more powerful than PSVR. So like Horizon Call of the Mountain looks leagues beyond what PSVR games did, obviously, because your PSVR had to use the power of the PS4.
Would you say this is the best you've seen in VR?
Easily.
This particular demo?
As far as just graphics go, I'm not talking about immersion. As far as just graphics go, hands down. No contest that I know of that looks as good as this. It looks fantastic. And I find myself in VR games having the most fun when I'm doing things that aren't really related to what you're supposed to be doing. So like I love just like there's a vase like sitting on the ground and I'm like picking it up and throwing it and catching it with my other hand and like throwing it at somebody's face or like throwing it off a cliff. I do like in this game they have hidden things that you shoot and you take the bow and arrow out to shoot like just it's like little collectible things, but it's fun and be like I'm like, oh, there's a hidden one down there, and you take out your bow and arrow and try and hit it. It's just fun little stuff like
Does
that.
it do the because the triggers are the adaptive trigger, like they're the resistive triggers or whatever, right? Are they not?
I don't know. I honestly don't know because they didn't feel that way.
Oh, okay.
Unless they're not as
I thought
intense.
they were. So I was just curious what shooting the bow would feel like. If it felt
Yeah,
any
it doesn't
better.
feel like other PS5 games, so I don't know that it has the adaptive triggers. You can look, maybe it does to a lesser degree. But yeah, you know, it was fun. Like I'm not going to say it wasn't fun, but I wasn't like I need to play this. I need to continue. It was fun. No,
You're saying it's not going to move any hardware?
I'm sure it will for Horizon fans and
Oh.
for graphics people. Yeah, it's very nice looking, but it's fine. It's fine. You know, if it drops in price, there might be a point where I'm like, okay, I'll pick that up. But I don't know. I'm interested to see you guys try it because I want to know what you think of it. But it was enjoyable. It's well done. The getting the feel of the bow and arrow is a little difficult. Lining up your shots is a little difficult because I don't know when I'm in real life and I like if I'm shooting a Nerf gun or something, I'm closing one eye, and in VR you're not doing that because if you do that, it ruins everything. So
it says here that they have the adaptive triggers from the PSVR 2 controller with haptic feedback. So
wait, read that again.
Intelligent eye tracking, finger touch detection, haptic feedback, and adaptive triggers from the PSVR 2 controller.
What does that mean?
Oh, is that not the...
No, because you're saying from the PSVR 2 controller. You mean it would have to be from the PS5 controller, the Dual Sense or whatever.
Then never mind.
You will try and find out. You can find out.
It says here that the controller's not working for a lot of people.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes, my poor cousin bought a PSVR 2 and his controllers are not working, which is a bug for I don't know how many people, but it's out there. So yeah, I played that demo. I also played a demo for the Star Wars game you're talking about because I haven't played that Star Wars. It was the other Star Wars that I played.
What's it called? Galaxy's Edge?
Or whatever it's called. Yeah, I played the demo.
Edge my galaxy.
Shooting in that game was a lot more fun. And it is fun because you can pick up weapons off of anybody and shoot. So it's great.
Shooting was more fun than what?
Than in Horizon.
Oh, okay.
And I like bow and arrows in games better, but shooting felt more like in the Star Wars game, I felt like I could point and shoot and I'm pretty much on with what I'm hitting. So that was a lot of fun. The demo itself kind of drove me nuts. And I don't know how much of that was tied to music because it played like 15, it's probably wrong, 1 30-second loop that was really grating on me. And it was just like driving me insane. And I was like, I got to get out of here. This is making me so angry. So I think maybe if I turned off the music, I'd have a better experience. But the actual shooting was fun. They make a weird decision. The default is when you pick up a gun, you have to hold the button on the side of the controller to actually hold the gun. So if you let go of the button, you drop the gun.
Oh, okay.
And it's annoying to hold that the whole time. You're already holding the controller. Like, I don't want to hold another button. You can turn that off, and it's like sticky controls. So you pick it up, and then it stays in your hand. I'm like, God, thank God. The other thing is like, Horizon handles weapons way better than Star Wars does. In Horizon, it's like, pull an arrow from your back, pull the bow and arrow from your back, put them back, put them back. That's it. In Star Wars, it's like your gun goes here, your gun goes here, your other thing goes here, your other, like on your chest and on your side. And I'm like trying to put my gun in and it's like falling to the ground. And I got to pick it up. It's like somebody shoot me in the face. And I'm like, can't we just like, I hold it on my side and let go and it'll to my body. Like, I don't like, that's not going to ruin the immersion for me of this. There needs to be immersion meshed with gameplay that's not frustrating. So, but the actual shooting was a lot of fun, like picking off, they're not stormtroopers. I don't know what they are, but picking off enemies and, leaning around things. That was a lot of fun. That felt good. So I need to play without the music. But again, I just played the demo and I saw the demo through to its end. and my frustration was enough that I was like, I'm not gonna be buying this one. But then it happened. Sony held a state of play event this week, and they showed off a new trailer for a game we already knew about called Humanity, made by the same man who made Rez. So I've been pumped for this game. They announced that it was PSVR 2 compatible, and they announced there was a demo. I could not wait to download this demo. One of the best VR experiences I've had.
Oh man.
So it's a puzzle game. One of the best puzzle games I played in the last decade. Easy. You play as a little dog. Oh, I wanted to tell you
I
this.
like it already.
It's a mix of something. What was the one thing?
Intelligent.
It reminds me of Intelligent Cube. Yes.
Really?
Yes, definitely. So you play as a little dog, and there's a constant flow of people, humans. They're just walking, and they have no direction. They just walk in whatever direction they come out of this gate. And your objective in each level is get the humans to the end goal. You play as the dog. The dog will have different abilities in the levels. So the dog can bark, and the dog will bark a direction for them to go. So you walk on a square and you bark and hold circle and you hit a direction. And when the people get to that block, they'll walk left or they'll walk right, depending on however you tell them. There's another direction that you can put down that lets them jump or float or whatever. And it's just all figuring out ways to get them to the goal. The soundtrack is awesome. The game it's so good.
Sounds like one you just have to play.
Yeah, I played the whole demo last night. And there's a lot to the demo. I couldn't stop playing it. I was obsessed with it. It's great for VR because it's handled like it's handled like diorama style. So you're like looking down at like this play field, and you can lower and raise the camera and swing it around and get in close on these things. It's so good. I really hope you like it, Deux, if you try it. I really hope you like it. But I definitely got some Intelligent Cube vibes because the levels kind of have that kind of look to them. You're walking around on like gray cubish platforms. There are some levels where you're pushing blocks around too. And there's a fast forward button like in that game.
So is it third person? You're watching the dog?
You're like picture yourself as a god. Like you're like looking over this landscape.
I do that every day.
And you
Which
can
is just dog spelled backwards.
But you control that's right. You control the dog. Like you move the dog all free wherever he wants, and you got to direct the people to the goal. Then there's these bigger golden people, and if you get them to the goal, you get bonus points. But some of the levels you have to get them to the goal. And if they walk off the edge, you got to restart the level.
Is it a timed demo or is it just a
Nope?
It's like a couple levels.
All you want. It's like I want to say it's like 10 levels, but they take a while. And the levels have like some are multiple elements you can do, like jump and float and turn. Some of them are just turn. Some of them are jump and one other thing. And it's the way the levels come together and the way you solve the puzzles is so satisfying. And there's one level in particular where like it's a huge landscape. And you're like, how am I going to get these people to go where they need to go? And through trial and error, you figure things out. And when you get to the solution, it's like waves of people jumping between all these platforms at the same time and moving all around. It's like, it kind of looks like a storm going around. I'm like, this looks so cool. It's such a cool idea. So day one purchase for me, one of the best I've played in VR. And like I said, one of the best puzzle games I've played in a long time because it's really inventive. It's really unique. It's very easy to understand, and it's just satisfying. It's enjoyable.
What was it called?
It's called Humanity. So it tells a story about this. From what I remember, the story is just like one day I woke up and I was this dog, and I was in charge of hurting these people or whatever. I forget what it says, but it's telling some story about people and leaders and followers and humanity in general. It's got an interesting story to it, but man, everything that I feel and get from Rez, I get from Humanity, minus like the pulsing soundtrack. This is a more like, it's got a beat to it, but the music isn't part of the gameplay. It's just there as background. But man, it's really good. I was sitting there like bobbing my head to it while I'm playing. I'm like, man, the soundtrack is really killing it. It's just great.
Can you fail a mission?
Yeah. If the gold people walk off the edge, then you fail for levels where you have to get the gold people to the end. There's some with gold people you don't have to get to the end, but some levels have like a gold square and you have to get a gold guy to the gold square to unlock the next part of the level. But it's, you fail and you just restart right away. Like, it's not a big deal. I never got frustrated. There were puzzles where I was like, how the hell do I do this? Like, what am I going to do? Like, how do I get these people where I want them to go? But it's very satisfying. And also, like I said, it has a fast forward. So if you do a level a couple times and you fail and you're like, I don't want to watch these people walk here all over again, you can hold the fast forward and they pick up the pace and go through it. So I want all of you to try it. I really hope you like it. I honestly don't know if you're going to like it or not. MomBrain, I really think you will like it a lot. It's stellar. And I know, whatever, this guy makes games that people, that some people really, really love and others don't care about at all. So I'm sure this is going to be another one of those. But is humanity 3D Lemmings? Drake, in a way, you are right about that. Yeah, it's 3D Lemmings, except with a way better like vibe and atmosphere and theme, and it's just awesome. When the demo ended, when the demo was going on, I was like, man, they gave you a lot to do in this demo. And then when it ended, I was like, I don't want to wait for this game to come out. I want to play it now. But
when does it come out?
I want to say May. I think it was May.
May.
So great use of VR too. By the way, this is not a VR exclusive game. So if you want to just play it on TV, you can play it on TV. But I played it in VR and I'm very happy I did because it felt awesome. Just to like look down at this
Could you see
little landscape and all these thousands of people are walking by.
So VR definitely adds to it. Like you wouldn't want to play it non-VR now that you've played it VR.
The game is really great. I would play it without VR hands down, but having played in VR, I definitely want to play that way. Because you can, it just feels so much better and cooler to like be in the environment and like swing the camera around the environment and like, like I zoomed in really close on the dog to watch him walking around. It just, it felt really cool to be in control of the dog, but to be like a passive like viewpoint.
Are the graphics like Katamari graphics?
The graphics are like
I'm watching the
they're
trailer
like
right now,
they're like
actually.
Intelligent Cube kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, the trailer, like the emphasis on the graphics is very much there are literally thousands upon thousands of people walking around while you're playing. So and that's not an overstatement. Like it's a constant stream of a ton of people walking around. And if the people fall, it doesn't matter. Like as many people can die as you want.
They're
That
expendable.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
They're not Pikmin.
They are not Pikmin. So there are some stages where you have a limited amount of people to work with. And if they die, then you have to restart. Like there's a stage I did where it's like you got 20 people and you need those 20 people to get your mission done. So if they walk off the edge, then you're screwed. But it's no big game over screen and restart a whole bunch of stuff. It's just you restart and that's it.
Drake Gamer asks, does it use the VR controller?
That's how I played. Yeah, I played with the VR controllers. They don't do anything special, but that's how I played. So you could probably play with a traditional controller too. But yeah, I played with the VR controller. So I don't want to say a lackluster PSVR 2 experience because I really like the hardware and it is very powerful in conjunction with the PSVR 2. I'm more from a software standpoint where I was whelmed. I was not underwhelmed.
Well, it's just like the PlayStation 5 when it came out. Like what launch game was really there that could get you excited for it?
At least with PSVR 2,
What
there is
rules, you
Horizon,
sons of
like an
bitches?
exclusive, brand new. Like at least they got something there day and date. And like I said, I enjoyed it. I just was like, do I enjoy it enough to play this whole game? I don't know. But if humanity was there, I'd be like, yes, this is a system seller for me.
Is it everything that Horizon does? Like, can you ride the animals and stuff like that?
I don't know. Not in a demo.
Yeah.
You do a lot of climbing.
How's that feel?
It's fun, It's fun.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know what I like about the game a lot, which I didn't mention? They do an excellent job with giving you ways to play comfort-wise. So it's pretty much, we'll give you every single option you can have for the controllers in the view. You pick what you want. So they have like 3 presets, and I made my own that I liked because I wanted to turn a certain way. I wanted movement to be handled a certain way, and it lets you do all that. So that was great. Like that, rather than having to be locked into like a push to warp to a point or walk or what, because camera speed when you're turning, like if you're looking left and you're turning right, it freaks me out. Like I'm like, what's going on? Like I have to stop and focus again. here, let me choose a control scheme that worked for me. So, like I said, I'm not saying it's bad at all. I don't
Did you
think it's
see what
bad by
Freddie
any
Fro
means.
said?
Freddie Fro says, we're like 10 minutes behind while listening to the PSVR 2 talk, and I need to recommend this one. Please check out the game Tentacular. I saw the icon of it. It's so good. You play as a giant tentacle monster who helps people solve their problems in town. I played it on Oculus 2, but I believe PSVR 2 is out. It is out. I saw it. I will look into that recommendation. I keep seeing the icon for it, and I looked at a few screens, but I didn't really jump in on it. So you have given me reason to do so. Thank you. I am looking for something to play. And that's that. That's all I played. Let's do questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. We got a very short one this week, but I think it's one this podcast will like to answer because I know two people here who like to talk about this. This comes from Fart Blossom. They say, are you regular?
Yes.
Can you be overly regular?
You can. Well, that's
That
your
would be
regular.
That would be regular
Yeah,
for me then.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, then I'm regular, baby.
Because I would say, please, if you don't want me to speak about this, I won't. But I would say you are very regular. MomBrain and Deux are very regular. MomBrain is like, all right. Again, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. When you wake up in the morning, are you going right to take a dump?
Immediately.
So you two are very, that's MomBrain.
It's not like I get up, I pee, and then I make a coffee.
It's happening.
Hang out for a little.
It's not like it's a guarantee.
It's guaranteed that within the first hour of waking up, I'm
other
pooping.
than you. Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's
how
gonna-
the human race is?
I am in a different body, so I don't know. But for
you
me,
don't mind answering this question for us, Kirby?
Kirby's not much for this kind of talk. So if you don't want to, you don't
it's
have to.
okay. I'll wade into this.
I'll let loose.
So to
He'll let it
speak.
loose.
Yeah, I'll let loose. So yeah, if I miss a day, I get like
Miss
a little.
a day.
Yeah, I get a little concerned. It happened just recently.
Oh, man.
I have never gone a day without pooping. Guaranteed.
And
I
I
can guarantee.
always go multiple days.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Even when
think
I
of
was
a
eating
time
like I
when
used to eat, I was multiple days where it was like I will often think like, oh, today's the day where I have to poop, and other days I just don't.
So
poop.
strange to me. Yeah.
This is honestly what I thought earlier this
And
week.
I've been taking like fiber gummies recently too.
I had to poop,
Man.
and I was like, I gotta poop today. I don't want to poop right now. I was like annoyed that I had to go sit on the toilet
That's
and
so
poop.
funny. I'm always like, I gotta poop this hour. Like, seriously, like I'll poop. There's a definite as soon as I wake up, and usually it wakes me up before I even intend to wake up by at least an hour. So like, and then I'm up. I can't get back to sleep. 9 times out of 10, I can't get back to sleep after that. Then I'll get up, I'll make a coffee, have a Belvita with the coffee, and then as soon as that coffee's done, round 2, if there wasn't already a round 2. And by noon, there's at least 2 for me personally. And yeah, people have told me this is not healthy, but it's how I do it. So I've been doing it for years.
how I do
that's
it.
how it is. It's at least 2 before noon, sometimes 3. And I've gotten crap for it, but what are you gonna do?
Oh, you've gotten crap already.
And then every once in a while, blue moon time, and it's usually if I'm at somebody else's house or somewhere where I'm not in a comfort zone, I can always have an excitable poop at any other time.
Anastasia Beaverhaston says, I'm not regular. I find that most of my poops are surprises. Hopefully not surprises that are in your pants. You make it to the toilet. And they've definitely gone days without pooping. Highland Tom says, some people are poo camels. They just hold it and hold it. Tentavision says, I poop maybe every 2 or 3. So there you go. We run the
Hours?
gamut. No, that's days.
I've never,
insane.
to my knowledge, gone a day without pooping.
Well,
I don't think I have either. I'm trying to say, like,
maybe you wouldn't be so small if you didn't crap so much.
Yeah.
Simpsons.
Well, I feel like I should be smaller, to be honest, because it's kind of like sometimes I'll have a morning and it's like, what did I eat yesterday? Because I don't remember eating all that much. So
I'm
yeah,
dying.
I don't know. I'm getting in the
There you
weeds
go.
here,
Now
but-
you got our regular answer. We also have a Patreon question. MomBrain, did you know you could join the Patreon?
For $1.
Super Duper Pooper Scooper says, I've been hooked on Theorism ever since its release last week, but I basically have no history with the series. I've only ever beaten Final Fantasy VII Remake and barely played the original Final Fantasy VII, but I've always loved the music. Theater Rhythm has been so fun that I'm thinking of starting to play other titles in the series. Has anyone on the podcast crew ever jumped into a game series or other piece of media via a completely random title or spin-off, or at least with very little history in the series? Isn't that funny? Just like we're talking about, again, watching The Last of Us and then wanting to play video games. I know I've played spin-offs of things before I played mainline. Yeah, I want to say I played Dragon Quest Slimes before I played a Dragon Quest game. So there you go. Perfect example.
The first Far Cry game I ever played was Blood Dragon.
Oh yeah,
which
a
is
great one.
Yeah, which is basically like a reworking of the third game in the main franchise.
I'm trying to think of more. I mean, I know there's been more for me, but yeah. Do any?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't done it yet, but you have played a Minecraft spin-off. Now, if you play Minecraft,
oh yeah, there you go.
You play Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh, but you have to then jump into the main thing.
Ever jumped into a game series or other piece of media via completely random title or spin-off? Oh no, then you're good. So that's it. Minecraft Legends.
So that counts.
There you go. You're in it.
That game was fun. We had fun with that.
Yeah, they just put out some new content for it. I like that game a lot.
They're coming out with another one, right? Minecraft Adventure. Or
oh wait, is Legends coming out? And we're talking about Dungeons.
Oh, we played Dungeons.
Yeah, Legends is coming out.
Legends looks cool.
It does. I mean, I'm a fan of Minecraft in general, so I'm down. I wish I could come up with more examples, but it's happened to me multiple times.
Plenty.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that I've played.
But it happens. Yeah, for some reason, it used to happen more with me when I didn't play RPGs because RPGs scared me. So if there was a spin-off of something from an RPG, then I would play that and it would at least pique my interest.
Like, I don't know, would you consider the Final Fantasy Game Boy games spin-offs?
Well, that's a good example because I played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles before I played. Oh no, I played Final Fantasy VII, but that was a random touch point.
Oh, okay.
I played Crystal Chronicles before any of my friends did.
I finished it for my friends. We were in dire trouble.
I'm saying you fight for your friends.
That's right. All right, that's that. Let's do some music, MomBrain.
Okay.
Music.
Oh, by the way, join the Patreon because now we're doing a post every day. Every day, people.
Every day.
For some reason, the music. Oh, maybe that's not the right one. Here we go.
I got music. You want to hear it?
We want to hear it.
Oh.
That'll never get old. I love that.
Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com. That is goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title to help out MomBrain.
Thank you. Okay.
Joey.
So the very first song we have for this week is from Mikey3319. I have my volume up. Hold on. Oh, there we go.
Guessing this is an NES title.
Yeah, and it's got a Tecmo vibe to it.
Ninja Gaiden type thing.
Tecmo.
Oh, is it
Super Bowl?
Is it Rygar?
No.
It's got to be Tecmo something.
It is Tecmo something.
Tecmo Sports. Tecmo Volleyball. Tecmo Dodgeball. Tecmo.
So Tecmo's definitely in the title?
Tecmo is definitely in the title.
Tecmo Track and Field. Tecmo Olympics. Tecmo. Is it a sport?
Yeah.
Tecmo Olympics.
No.
Tecmo kayaking.
Nope.
Tecmo swimming.
Nope.
Is it a regular sport?
Yeah.
Define regular.
Tecmo Ball. Tecmo Bowl.
No.
Tecmo Ball.
Tecmo
Baseball.
baseball, yeah.
Nope.
Tecmo Soccer.
Basketball.
Tennis.
Tennis.
How many sports games did they make?
How many? What else is a regular sport?
One of your favorites.
Bowling.
No.
Curling.
No.
Badminton.
Hockey?
No.
Wrestling?
Wrestling. Oh.
Tecmo World Wrestling.
Well, that's not regular.
We got there.
Okay.
We got there.
Finally.
So that was from Mikey3319, and it was Tecmo World Wrestling. This one comes from Guy Bones.
Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Is this an Enix game?
I don't think so.
A Square game? Squaresoft?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is it first party?
Capstone?
Huh? What?
Capstone Software.
Who the hell's Capstone? Well, I got no chance then. I don't know.
It is. Is this licensed?
It is.
Oh boy.
James Bond Jr.
No.
Capstone. Who is Capstone? That's a
I'm
pretty
guessing
good
they're
song.
not around anymore.
Eat the Cat.
No.
Chester Cheetah.
No. But the title of the song is A Deadly Game of Cat and Mouse.
Tom and Jerry.
No.
Itchy and Scratchy.
No.
Garfield.
No.
What other cats are there?
Heathcliff.
Mm-mm.
The old Heathcliff.
Krusty
game?
Super Fun House.
Nope.
Was it literally about a cat and a mouse?
Itchy and Scratchy.
Felix.
No.
We don't know. Go ahead.
An American Tale. Five Goes West.
Oh, where's Nicky Hill when you need
That
him?
sounded pretty intense for
Yeah, that's what I thought.
an American Tale.
This one comes from Geku Kitsune.
This is familiar.
Yeah.
Is this Earthbound?
No.
I can't place the system.
64.
That's why.
Sorry.
First party?
Yep.
Yeah, Mario Party. 2, 3.
Yeah, Mario Party 3.
Nice.
There's like a little bit of a Mallow Mart.
Yeah, I can.
Well, it
I
is
can feel
Nintendo.
I can feel it.
All right, so that was Mario Party 3 from Geku Kitsune. Here comes one from Steve Irwin, R.I.P.
Another one that could be 64 or Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Konami?
Namco.
A Pac-Man. It's Pac-Man.
It's Pack Attack.
I know that Pac-Man song. Nice version, too.
Great job, everyone. That was from Steve Irwin, R.I.P., and it was Pack Attack. This one comes from Jess I.
What system is this?
Switch.
Oh, God. Not first party, right?
It is first party.
Whoa. Pokemon.
No.
Mario.
No.
Kirby.
No.
If I don't know it,
Star Fox?
No.
Luigi's Mansion.
No.
what is this first party that I don't know it? Zelda.
No.
Captain Toad.
No.
Pikmin.
No.
Just throwing crap out there now.
Metroid?
No.
Yeah, right?
Splatoon.
No.
Animal Crossing.
No.
Franchise? Ring Fit Adventure.
No.
Not a
As
franchise.
far as I know, it's only a game.
Only this one game on Switch.
I mean, there's multiple iterations of the game, but it's
Nintendo Labo. what was that pause? You made me think I had it.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the system again?
Switch.
Oh, okay. Is it Pilot Wings?
No.
Whatever.
Multiple versions.
Well, like Nintendo character with multiple games.
But this particular one is not a franchise.
I don't think, like, no, it's a franchise.
Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, the name of this game is there another one with the same name?
Yeah.
Just tell me, what is it?
Yoshi's Crafted World.
Oh man, I didn't guess that.
I forgot about that
I
game.
cut you slack for franchise on that
Yeah,
one
like
because there's Woolly World and Crafted
Right.
World and
the last one for this
damn you,
week
Yoshi.
is from Nintendo.
I know that noise. Is this Zombies Ate My Name?
It's not.
Why do I know that noise? What system?
Super Nintendo.
Oh, this is Yoshi's Island.
No.
Oh wait, what is this? Yeah. I remember thinking this song was awesome.
You thought right.
So awesome.
I'm done. Done listening.
I was just listening to this soundtrack. I know it.
This is like the song they play in that underground orgy in Matrix 2.
Side scrolling.
Oh, I don't want those hints. I mean, that's not a big hint. Super Nintendo. Not first party?
No.
Too hardcore for first party. Franchise?
I don't think so.
Ooh. This one's going to piss me off.
Yeah.
No, I know it.
Is this licensed?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Actraiser.
Oh, I know what it is. It's Block.
It is.
I got there.
Oh, wow.
I got there.
I didn't realize.
I remember Block
Music and
being
Block
a
got this
crappy
sentence.
game with an awesome soundtrack. I got there.
Great job on getting 6 out of 9.
Great job.
Did it.
Great job.
Well, dude, you got anything for us? Anything come across your desk?
Yeah, look at this. Something came across the desk. Deux Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week, starring Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, if you follow the Deux Views podcast featuring GoNintendo and the folks, you'll know that I am privy to some of the world's most hottest off the record rumors, and that's the way it's always been until today. Because today we're doing things a little different.
Chris Pratt impression there?
Yeah, thank you. Today we're doing something different. We're gonna stomp on Koopas.
Oh, okay.
And actually, this rumor is true. We're doing something
Oh,
new. This is true, so it's a trumor. And so it turns out that with the popularity of the Super Mario World that has just released, Nintendo and Miyamoto, they've been talking about what are we gonna add to the park next. You know, a lot of people have been saying Splatoon because obviously they sell really well, and people want something that sells well over something that's going to be really cool. So they decided, you know what? Instead of that, we're going to go back to the classics with this one. So coming this summer is going to be the whole new Kid Icarus wing of the Super Mario World.
Wing?
No pun intended.
Yes, exactly. You're gonna get to jump on clouds and shoot eggplants. There's gonna be eggplants in the dishes in the restaurants, and there's gonna be eggplant soda to drink, and there's gonna be
Okay.
there's gonna be a contest to decide what Kid Icarus's real name should be instead of Pit.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah,
Do we get to meet Lady Palutena?
you know what? I'm afraid that she has been canceled. She said some things
no.
on Twitter
It's
about
called
support.
Pit a Fairy.
She supported Roseanne Barr, I think is what it was.
Wow.
Tina,
Wow.
She
no.
seems so
That is
nice, too.
low.
That part is an actual rumor.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, thank you. I mean, it was great until that.
There's going to be
sour
some
note
tragedies in that park when the sun gets too hot.
Oh, I get you. I get you. Very good.
Ooh.
All right,
yeah, I
everybody.
didn't think about that.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Like in Kid Icarus, he's not the actual Icarus because then his wings would have been made of wax.
He's Kid Icarus.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they're real wings.
And Palutena has to give him the power of flight, which
Yeah,
he can only have for 5
And his name
minutes.
is Pit, so maybe Kid Icarus is just like a nickname. I never thought of that.
Like, look at this guy and his wings. Got a little Kid Icarus over here.
Super Blast X says, I want to know what Tommy Tallarico plans on contributing to the Nintendo theme park, to be honest. Well, we know for sure
Probably
that
something pretty good.
he came up with that noise from that one Roblox game or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think many game companies are going to be looking to work with Tommy anytime soon.
Oh.
Was there anything to come from that guy's video, or is this all stuff that people in the industry knew already and we just didn't realize?
Was there a reckoning? I don't know. But I don't know how much he was really doing with game music anyway. Like in recent years, it's not like we're seeing him or seeing his company handling composing duties on anything in recent years that I can think of. So,
Did something happen with him that I'm not aware of?
oh my God, Kirby, you got to watch the greatest documentary ever to hit YouTube.
It's so fascinating. It really is.
Don't even want to ruin it. It's about
What can
the
you do?
creator of a sound in Roblox.
Mhm. Oh, I
And
think
it
I
leads
remember
to
you.
Tommy Tallarico. But
Tell-
listen, you're asking what did he do? He didn't actively do anything new. It's an uncovering of everything he's done. And we cannot tell you one thing because I'm not lying when it's like 10 different things.
It's a 2-hour YouTube video, and it
Yeah,
was
send me
like
the
5
link.
minutes long. It was, oh my God, I just devoured it. It was so fascinating.
It sinks its hooks in you early. And when it's coming to an end, you're like, I don't want this to end. I'm getting you the link right now. It's from H Bomber Guy. I remember that because he's someone that I was subscribed to for a while now because he makes, in general, fantastic YouTube documentaries. And this one, all of his documentaries get millions of views, but this one in particular has been growing faster than any other. I got the link. I will send it to you right now. But yeah, what a wild ride. And I guarantee it will show you things. It will take you places you're not expecting. So. But yeah, no, like,
But he hasn't done anything.
yeah,
terrible.
yeah. It's not like he's a murderer or he's a rapist or anything
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
not like that. Thank
It's
goodness,
all,
but-
like, yeah, it's nothing. I guess like the worst thing is like money related stuff. It's not, yeah, but it's not like, I'm going to say not cancelable in the way the word is used now, but things where you're like, oh, this is bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I know we've talked about that before. I'm sure many of you have seen it. Tenth Vision says we know Tommy Tallarico is lovers with Miyamoto at least, so anything's possible. Yeah, I mean that's talked about at length in this documentary.
That's a rumor.
That one just came across my desk. All right, everybody. I'm gonna pee my pants. Thanks for watching and listening. You guys got a ton to play this weekend. You got Kirby, you got Octopath, you got Grim Guardians, and I'm forgetting a whole bunch of other stuff. So hopefully you're enjoying something. But thanks for spending a few hours with us. Have some fun. Rest, relax. You deserve it. Hang out with friends and family. And as usual, we will see you next week. So goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.